wind blowing from? This way. That way, right? Yeah. You got the video up, brother? You want to check the audio?
Let's put the tripod right here.
Sideways?
Yeah, put it right here.
And then have us this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah.
Let's check the audio real quick.
So it's going against the wind. I mean, the wind's going
Yeah.
against the wind. Lord's where that do something. Shalom.
Shalom. Let us know how the audio is.
Oh, you said sound all good.
Sound good? The water.
The water, bro.
The water. All right, shalom, shalom. All right, we're going to do this again.
Take two.
And take two. It takes two to make a thing go right. All right, so call halal, abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachakodash. Double honors to our elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3. All right, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those scattered abroad according to the diaspora. So if you believe, shalom to you, okay? Stop being afraid because you might look white. All right, you got Jake that are afraid and they look so-called black.
Yeah.
All right, stop being afraid, man. We're at the end. All right, they're coming down on everybody real soon. Real ting this. All right, so let's get into prophecy.
Let's start.
Please.
1 Corinthians 14:1. It says, "Follow after charity."
Yep, what you're supposed to, meaning being brotherly. And one thing you're gonna find out in this truth is the real charity is gonna come from the brotherhood. Now you're gonna have a very few select of women that are gonna be somewhat in the right spirit, because we all battle. See, that's one thing I noticed in this walk. We're the only one to acknowledge we're fighting against demons. You women, you don't acknowledge you got demons on you. You got excuses, you got everything except for what addressing what's gonna fix you. Okay? Edomites make excuses. A sinful man will not be reproved, but make an excuse. We don't make excuses. Okay? We actually are in the spirit to fix what the world makes an excuse of. So that's putting us in a whole different bracket when it comes to the world of creation. That's why we're separated from you people, where you're just humans, man. Okay, we're not carrying ourselves in a humanistic reaction. All right, and you people can't handle that. Okay, the people around you can't handle that you're entering God mode. They can't handle order. All right, they want disorder. They want you to be a Gentile. That's why I wanted that in 1 Peter 4, where they think it's strange.
Yep.
You run out, want them? You know, we can hold that one too. But these people right now, brothers, they're not set up to embrace the new creature that you're becoming, because they want you spiritually to have your beard shaved. You got it.
And it reads, 1 Corinthians 14:1, "And desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy."
Yeah, so we're supposed to be prophesizing. You got Israelites out here that pride themselves in their mixtape, being a father. Hey, that's admirable. But the times that we're living in, just being a father isn't what puts you in a better position. Of course, you got the 1/3, but there's also you're a part of the ministry. You know, you're a part of the building. You're a part of the ark being rebuilt. Okay, so we're working here, but not everyone around you understands what you're working on, because they don't have the vision. All they see is wood and nails, and I don't see how this can save us. People around you can't see that what you're building is going to save in the time to come. That's why Yahushua said, remember Lot's wife. So if people ain't in the right spirit, hey man, walk the plank.
Jump down to verse 22. It reads, "Wherefore tongues are for a sign."
Yeah, speaking of different languages. You know, what you saw that in Acts, the 2nd chapter. They were able to speak in different languages because you had Israelites that came from different areas that spoke different languages depending on the nations. So another word for nations would be Gentiles. So Jake is amongst the Gentiles, and this is why the Lord sent the Holy Spirit, and one of the first characteristics of the Holy Spirit was the interpretation of tongues to speak to those Israelites that only spoke that tongue.
That's right. And it reads, "Not to them that believe, but to them that believe not. But prophesying serveth not for them that believe not, but for them which believe.
Right. So we prophesize not for ISUPK because they say the mark of the beast isn't the sea hip. We're prophesizing in the spirit for those that believe it is. Okay? You had this foolish prophet by the name of Chief Ephraim, and he said that how can the mark of the beast be the sea hip if the whole world isn't doing what America's doing? But when the Uno Nueve came out, do you know how many countries there are, Kratasaba, in the world? Do you know how many, the number? There's 195. Now, out of the 195 countries, how many countries would you guess mandated the Uno Nueve jump shot, if you had a guess?
Damn.
Okay, I'll take that. You know how many it was? 185.
Damn.
So 185 countries, it's called the World Health. Damn, man, you know who I don't like? I don't like humans in America. Because humans are cool, but you fucking humans, you men and you women in America are shit.
Yeah.
You're complete shit. You're proud. You need your ass beat. All right? We want out of America. I'm so happy that America is prophesied to be destroyed. I'm happy that the lake of fire is pertaining to Babylon the Great, man. And you people are fuel for the fire. Isaiah 9 says that they'll be fuel for fire.
Real quick.
Yep.
To land back in that point, is Psalm 14:1.
We supposed to fucking sit here, you know, find little burrows to prophesize in, you know, while everybody's just fucking doped out, horny, fat, drunk, demons, and we're just supposed to keep being huddled and like us looking for a place to camp today. Like, this is all we're just supposed to do? Like, brothers, think about your life right now and then take the truth out of it. Do you know how fucking mad that makes me? I don't care you got a woman, a house, children, apartment, car, job, and then you just take the truth out of it, and that's all the fuck you got as a man. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right? Because you know what you got to find out? This dude, he made a statement. He said, once a man figures out that he's an insect in the world, he's not worried about being late for work. Okay? So you're small. But guess what? It says, fear not my worm Jacob. So we may be an insect in this world, but now we're learning that the Lord controls everything. So we don't have to fear what man does unto us. We don't have to fear because we're not liked by the world or some little thick bitch don't like. So that's where you people get power in. Yep. Is in mortal. We're gaining immortality. We don't have to conform to the likings of this world because this world is about to pass away.
Right.
You got that, Peters?
Yep.
Please.
1 Peter, I'm starting at the top. 1 Peter chapter 4.
And we're at the first underground railroad station in Rochester, New York. So we're free now. Brothers, don't let no bitch take your balls, man. You got the freedom of speech according to the Roman image, but you can't speak freely amongst the woman you're popping. Get the fuck out of here, man. And you women got demons on you too. And the Lord is going to spiritually slap the shit out you and you weak ass, spiritually shaved-faced, bald nigga men.
Yep.
All right?
That's right.
And children too. What was that one video where he just was in the backyard? Not Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
But he was in the backyard and everybody walked up.
It's called the slap.
Thank you. He's fucking nigga. Shut up.
Kids.
They need a not a like a, is it an overhand? You need a shut up. Like you need to start in the forehead and lip down.
Yeah.
Humans, bro, like a dog, like an animal. Bad baby. What you got?
That's why corrections coming.
That's
why it says scourges are meant for corrections.
Right.
You know, amendments, I believe it's called.
Yep, and it's
Apocrypha, Thawad, and Edris. You know, that's why the Lord is about to send plagues upon these people. Because they're proud humans, that they're very proud creatures.
Yep.
Why do you think the Lord flooded the earth in the time of Noah?
Thank you.
Because of the violence, the pride, the wickedness.
Yep.
Just like today.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 1. For as much then as Yahweh Shai has suffered for us in the flesh, yourselves likewise.
Yep.
Yourselves likewise with the same mind.
So do you have the mind of Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Okay? Not the mind of Christ. Because the mind of Christ will have you focusing all day at camp of courting some sister
Yep.
and teaching her the laws.
Yep.
Okay?
And it reads, for he that hath suffered in the flesh.
And we're the heart, and through the Spirit, I'm saying that first, we're the hardest workers, man. You know, we're like spiritual Issacharites. He is hired,
Yep.
and we're about our Father's business. All you other Israelites are spiritually fucking lazy and physically lazy, man. You know? You're super worldly. You ain't doing shit. We out here sweating. You got niggas, ex-Sakari members. You didn't even rebuke Alagay.
Yep.
You call yourself the Masada, which was the last standpoint before the Roman Edomites took your ass over, and you're at camp with shorts on at the altar calling yourselves chief priests with shorts on, man. With little fucking Cheeto dreads, you know?
Yeah, you're naked out there.
I'm telling you, man, the Lord is about to cut the feed. He's about to cut the lifeline of the truth from you jakes. And now the videos from you other camps, they're not even entertaining anymore. Esau comes up. It's boring now. Before, like 2 years ago, I'd click on it. Now you click on it, it's like, this shit is boring.
Yeah.
You other camps are fucking boring.
Yep.
You're trash. All right? Your Edomite funding is running out.
Yep. And why is that? Because camps like that, they don't have the Holy Spirit.
Thank you.
Yahweh Shai is not dealing with them.
Thank you.
The Holy Spirit's not resting upon Masada, IEYC, camps like that, you know?
Yep. Keep going.
Genesis.
Yep.
1 Peter 4 and verse 1, it says, for he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin.
Yeah, so we suffer in the flesh, but humans don't understand it. You know, they don't understand what we're going through, but they're not set up to. And you're not set up to try to drag them into to the light of the Lord to get it.
Right.
You know? Some people are just spiritually dumb, like we once were. So then you learn, like, you know what, man, this shit is a waste of time. This shit, there's something bigger than Nino Brown. Priorities, man. You gotta really, there's a collective theme amongst the body that's getting brothers prepared that the world is ignoring or not addressing.
Yep.
Hey, don't you let no fucking little ass 5'2" woman isolate your mind as one of the greatest heathen empires is about to fall.
Right.
One of the greatest heathen empires is getting ready to fall. And don't let a woman try to tell you, you need to propose to me. Bitch, it's the days of Noah.
For real.
You know? Everybody's a hypocrite. Rappers can call you bitches and hoes, but a man of the Lord say, bitch, shut up. Now you wrong.
Yep.
Come on, man. What happened to freedom of speech? Choke you in the bedroom, but not in the living room.
Yep.
Be consistent. We're having fun. We're having fun up here. Okay? You can't have fun in the black woman's living room. You can't have fun in a black person's barbecue. You know what I mean? You can't have fun at work.
Can't have, right, corporate America.
You can't have fun in corporate America. You can't be a man. You're being transparent. But what about Biden? What about those babies and those transparents? But whatever.
Shit. Real quick, because you made a couple points.
Being outspoken is what they call transparent.
Right.
But you fucking chopping your child's body part off, that's glorified to be a transparent. I'm just using a play of words. But you get what I'm saying?
This is real quick. This is the GNT version. This is second Esdras.
And we don't walk around mad.
No. Nah.
Okay? We sing, we laugh, we rejoice, but then the Spirit jumps on us to rebuke.
Yep. That's right. This is the book of second Esdras, 14 and 14 in the GNT.
And most of you people can't handle rebuke.
Yeah.
Most of you people can't handle correction. You know?
Yeah. What did Jack Nicholson say in A Few Good Men?
You can't handle the truth.
That's right.
You can't handle it, man.
Right.
That's why humility's the best thing. And the we're all gonna go through our process of humbling as we are now, humility for honor. But a lot of you are gonna experience that humility in Jacob's trouble, man. All right? And women are gonna be humbled the most.
Oh yeah.
The most.
Yeah.
Are you men ready to witness that? Are you men ready to witness a woman forcing their children to take the mark?
Woo. This is second Esdras 14 and 14. The GNT reads, but says, put earthly cares away from you, throw down your human burdens, and lay aside your weak human nature.
Yeah, then you go through your own little endeavors, and then you become acceptable to the will of the Lord instead of fighting against the mortal problems.
Right.
All right, car ain't working. All right, female acting up. All right, demons at the job. Let me just go work out.
Right.
Let me just go read. You know?
Yeah.
Because you get to a point where you get purged from the reaction of that situation.
Yep.
And then you become like stellar. You become smooth with it.
Yeah.
You become like a spiritual Judite in it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like how in if I can make a quick carnal point, it's like how in basketball.
Well, you're making a carnal analogy.
Thank you. It's like how in basketball, you know, like some players, they make it, you know, emotional at the call, but sometimes you gotta just keep going you know, you gotta keep going and play through it.
Next play mentality.
There you go.
Because
Exactly.
life's a game, right?
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
so you know, I'm learning that life's a game. You ever play a video game and you want to skip past a boring ass part?
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
you like, bitch, I'm pressing X. You gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
So that's what we deal with, like at work, out and about.
Yep.
See, so we're acknowledging all that, but we're still pushing forward. Keep moving forward. You just gotta keep moving forward, man. Shit's happening. I'm waiting for CNN to tell me gas prices have heightened up. You know?
Back in Second Ledgers 14 and 15.
People don't like that we're not giving our lives to them.
Yeah.
Babylon does not like when you are not sacrificing yourself for it.
Yep.
Women don't like that you're not bowing to them.
Yep.
Esau hates, like Haman, yes, some on you, like Haman, he didn't like Mordecai, didn't reverence him.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
That's what this place is all about. It's about me worship. Okay? But that's why Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael got persecuted because they didn't want to bow when the music hit for the statue.
Yep.
So they think it's strange that you don't want to have an orgy.
Yeah.
You know, they think it's strange that you don't want to pop Kim Kardashian. They think it's strange because you ain't trying to go to grandma's Christmas party. But shit, I might go after.
Right.
You got some food?
Yeah.
You got some turkey?
Bring back your plate.
You know? Give me some collard greens. See? So it's deeper than rap. It's something deeper. When you break it all down, situations, family, friends, loved ones, when you break it down, it's like, oh, you got a demon on you.
Yeah.
So brothers, anybody around you got a demon on them, stop trying to explain yourself. Resist the devil and he will flee.
Yeah. That's right. And you know what proves when people got demons on them? When they just want to stay isolated in this point and not move forward past it, for a solution.
Yep.
Because that's how Satan works in your mind. He wants to sift you, make you overthink about this certain, scenario.
Yeah, this fucking fat back Edomite had got my vehicle towed, and then this nigga was he was basically like trying to stay in the same subject. He wouldn't tell me I needed it towed twice. He charged me like $300. So I'm like, fuck it. All right, it's your money, you can have it now. But you need to tell me when it's getting towed, has the order already been put in, what's the time limit, where, like, I'm at all these questions I'm asking, the nigga's trying to take my money and not tell me.
Right.
So I'm trying to establish order, and he just keeps trying to bring it back to the money. I'm like, I said, wait a minute. That's like me buying food and you not telling me when it's gonna get delivered.
Right.
So the nigga's so I said, matter of fact, here's the money for the first tow. I'll figure it out from after that. Then he took real long to give me my keys. Now, carnally, I want to jack his bitch ass up. But spiritually, I understood why this was happening. So long story short, the same vehicle got towed through the grace of the Lord, started right in front of his bitch ass, and I was able to drive home.
Right.
So take that, Babylon.
That's right.
So the point is, you got to be more spiritual now than ever. That's why you're going through things right now to prepare you for when it happens again. So things that you go through now that you used to get mad at, you now choose B instead of A.
Yep.
Okay?
Right.
It's multiple choice. That's why there's multiple precepts. So now you're reading to have precepts to understand how to react or the choices that you enact in that moment.
Yep.
That's the time we in, man. Everybody else is crashing out. Everybody else is feeling the burn, feeling the pain, feeling the hurt, feeling the doubt. So they don't know how to operate. Okay?
Right.
Families, friends, loved ones, They're starting to get irritable, okay? And it's single season for you women too. And that ain't a good thing to be single and not have a man of the Lord entering Jacob's trouble in the beginning of sorrows. Shit.
Assed out. Back in 2nd Esdras 14 and verse 15, it says, put all your anxieties aside and get ready to lead this word quickly.
Right, I'm gonna make a hypothetical biblical statement. So we know during the days of Noah, it was 8 souls, right?
Yep.
But in the days of Noah, hypothetically, what if Noah had more wives?
Right.
Abraham had multiple wives, but what if Noah had more wives, but they didn't make it? I'm saying hypothetically, of course. You see what I'm saying? So you got to really think like, damn, once you get past the bubble of Babylon, the only thing you're now thinking about is salvation.
Right.
So you got to make sure you're right so you get delivered. Like I said, it's hypothetical. I'm not saying he had more than one wife. But just even in that instant, what if Ham, Shem, and Japheth had concubines that didn't make it? Yeah. Lot's daughters were engaged and their husbands didn't make it, you know?
And that's called being sober-minded.
Yeah.
You know, being clear-minded. You know, thinking about, you know, the bigger picture.
Yep.
You know?
People ain't thinking about the bigger picture. That's why they're crashing out. Yeah. You got niggas with dread shooting their uncles over the honey buns. Yeah. You seen that?
Yeah. Real.
Women killing their children because the mental reality is setting in and they can't handle it. You know?
Verse 16, it reads, you have seen...
What are these camps gonna do? You got it.
You have seen many evil things already.
Yup.
But far worse things are about to happen.
Jacob's trouble. So what are these camps gonna do in Jacob's trouble? You know, are your fringes bulletproof? Is Christ a strong tower?
Right.
You ain't ready, man. Y'all not ready. Then Nate, latest false prophecy, everyone keeps asking about Rev 13. Ain't no, if you notice, no one is asking you about Deuteronomy 28. Nobody worried about Numbers 15 and 38 right now.
Right.
You know? And they're right here. Okay? But guess what? In Jacob's trouble, they're going to be right here. Mm-hmm. So, people keep asking this globe-trotting false prophet, they keep asking him, Rev 13. So he's going into it, and he said, Elon Musk is creating a brain chip, but that's not it. What? What? What Stone Cold say? What?
Well, it says by herself, just like money. It's tangible. It's physical.
Genius Act.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genius Act.
Yeah. Look that up.
Yeah. Let's look it up.
The genius. Wait, never mind.
Should I ask? Yeah. Should I ask chat? Let me ask chat. Yo, chat. Hold on. Right,
yeah, man.
You got it.
Well, I was gonna say that. Well, you gonna break it out anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
But the Genius Act basically is gonna solidify. Excuse me. It has solidified cryptocurrency being used in Babylon.
And a governmental status.
Yes. Thank you.
What is the Genius Act and how will it affect America with digital currency?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we asking. We're not asking how do I riz a yellow bone in Atlanta.
And that's what Esau does. Like Esau showing you, bread and circus, folly, and entertainment, but he's not showing you this. That's why Esau's about to come down hard upon the people and put that seed inside y'all, man.
It says the Genius Act, it's an acronym, but genius goes back to genie or spirit. Yep. It says generating enhanced national unit for insensitizing U.S. savings. Is a piece of proposed or hypothetical. Kradazab, are you grabbing anything? It said hypothetical. Ask, did the Supreme Court pass the Genius Act? Because now AI about to get me mad.
Right, AI be bullshitting.
Yeah, it's like a white woman texting back. It says hypothetical legislation that some discussions online associate with the development of implementation of CBDC.
See?
Which is central bank digital currency.
Yep.
The whole known world is ran off central banks.
Exactly. And that's why Esau, damn near everywhere you go now, everything's digital. He's literally setting a digital foundation for MTB, a digital infrastructure.
It says governmental control. A programmable CBDC might allow the government to control spending in specific ways, blocking purchases of certain goods or limiting spending to certain regions or times. See?
There you go.
So what right now what we're dealing with is the prophecy of Isaiah 6, where majority of our people ain't gonna get right till the cities get desolate.
Yeah, ultimately.
So that's what's gonna take for niggas and women, all right, to spiritually sober up is a complete destruction. Mushroom clouds.
Yeah.
You found anything?
Real quick, since you said that, I got a quick precept.
Yeah.
This is Sirach chapter 5.
You found something? Was the Genius Act passed by Supreme Court?
It says no way.
Okay, so but it's been introduced. The Genius Act, that's how they do. That's how they pass laws, though, brother. Is
Yep.
they bring it and then it gets voted in,
Yep.
like Roe versus Wade.
Yeah. Like, what did Biden say, like 05 about the CHIP, that he wanted to basically enact a law where people can get CHIP? I could be. I don't want
Are you
don't
thinking
say-
about the when he was like a senator?
Yes.
And someone asked him
Yes.
about Americans receiving a brain chip.
Yes,
And he
yes.
said, in your tenure, you will rule on that.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
So you got to also pay attention to what bills are being proposed. You know?
Just like the interview with Alec Jones and Aaron Russo. You had Nick Rockefeller, who was an elite, tell Aaron Russo that their plans for the elites is to have the American people see it. And then you had recently got RFK Jr. saying that by 2030 he wants Americans to wear a wearable digital device. You see, so the elites,
Congress.
their plan is coming to manifestation because it's prophecy.
It's Congress.
You see.
So it goes to Congress, not the Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'll look it up. I got to do my diligence on that. I think the Supreme Court is used for more of like when you're taking someone to court and it doesn't go, so you appeal, then it gets all the way brought to the Supreme Court.
Right.
But Congress, I believe, look, yes, Genius Act, officially known as the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoin Act, was passed by U.S. Senate on June 7th. It's June! On June 17, 2025.
That was 11 days ago.
The Genius Act aims to establish a federal regulatory framework for stablecoin. What's stablecoin? Digital currency.
Come on, man.
What's your family gonna do, man? Like, I'm telling you, the MOTB is gonna break up the Hebrew Israelite family unit, man.
Yes.
Now you got men of the Lord, where his family's gonna be protected. You know?
Right. Real quick, this is Sirach 5.
Oh, my bad. That's why I said put away mortal thoughts.
Exactly. Right.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah.
Digital, y'all.
Yeah.
It's going digital. It's about to get digital.
Yeah.
It's gonna be physical.
Yeah, bro. Man. This is the book of Sirach 5 and verse 7. It reads, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord.
No, tomorrow. I got this. That's why in the time of Yahushai, men use the law. I got married. And according to when you get married, you can take a year off. So when you get married, in the law, you're even allowed to chill.
Damn. But right now, we need
I'm sorry, brother. We need a woman like Moses' wife. When she threw the foreskin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, meaning, if you got a woman, her ass better be on fucking one.
Yeah.
All right? This shit ain't about the woman. You women, you better get fucking right now. Because you're going to get cussed the fuck out by your man, bro.
What's the saying? Go get right or get left?
Yes.
There you go.
And remember Lot's wife. Nobody wants their loved ones to perish. Okay? I don't want my mother, my father. You know, he said, you my mother, your father, you my everything.
Yeah.
Nobody wants our loved ones to go. But it's like everyone around us is acting like they're going to be here to stay.
Right. Because they can't see past Babylon.
What do you say?
They don't know.
I'm ready to go right now. We ready to go.
Yeah.
We ready to go, man. Y'all people are playing.
Well, we just read it in the GNT. It said, get ready to leave this earth.
Hey, these people, the only people that treat us right is the brotherhood,
That's
man.
right.
You know, not even your job. You know? Then you got people prove to me. I ain't proving shit to you. You got brothers. Don't you let no one around you act like they're your God.
Exactly.
That's
bro.
exactly what the demon on a woman wants to do.
Exactly.
She wants you to bow to her. She wants you to worship her.
Yeah.
She wants you to repent to her. Real shit.
Just like
Smack the Satan off you.
that's right. Just like just like Job's wife, Satan hopped on there.
She said, curse. She said, curse the Most High and die.
Right.
He said, you sound like one of them women on TikTok.
Right.
Right? That would be today.
Yeah.
You sound like one of them dumbass bitches on TikTok, man. And if you got a problem being called just the B word, you're not ready for Jacob's trouble, senorita.
Back in Sirach 5 and verse 7, make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh Shema Shai.
But your family will make you tarry.
Oh, yeah.
The woman will make you tarry. Your job will make you tarry. I remember this bitch-ass boss I had, Shalak Mashapayim on that nigga.
Yes.
Remember Mike?
Yeah.
That faggot?
Shalak Mashapayim on Mike.
But anyways,
bro.
I told myself I volunteer on Saturdays. Like, you know what I mean? This nigga, I saw volunteer with Kid. First, he thought that I was in a work release program because I'm so-called black. So I must be required by parole, you fucking bitch. That's what the world thinks of you brothers, man. It don't matter how much you articulate your words, carry yourself, conduct yourself, professional yourself, you're still a fucking nigga.
Yep.
You're still a nigga to them. They're expecting you to fall because of the curses, even though they deny that you're the people, even though they see the curses. But when you live above the curses, now we're waiting. Wait, let's see. Let's see if he leaves his children.
Yep.
You know? So, anyways, I was like, yeah, I'm not able to work, man. I got, you know what he told me? He said, fuck those kids.
Yep.
Bro,
I was there. Yeah, I'm a witness. He said that shit.
I had to be spiritual.
Yeah.
I had to be spiritual. So basically, that was Satan, though.
Yep.
So Satan will use outside influences around your walk to try to get you from not being right here at the altar. Yep. We are priests. And you gonna try to tell me that I'm not supposed to go to the altar as my priestly duty? We were created to serve the Lord, not Babylon.
That's right.
Not the box, not your job. And men fall away because of women and wine and work. You gotta watch out for those 3 W's and it ain't the World Wide Web.
Right.
Which that shit's dangerous too.
Back in Sirach 5 and 7, and it reads, and put not off from day to day.
Yeah, because suddenly a sleeper cell phone rings.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what Trump was saying recently. He was like, he believes that that Biden let in Persian sleeper cells.
Which he did.
Yeah.
That's order out of chaos. And they called him Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. Oh, see, right.
You know?
Perfect.
So you let them in. You let moles and transmissions and motorcycles run through the streets. Okay? And now masculinity is back on the scene, and women are losing their minds. Okay? Well, go watch the movie The Road again.
Ooh, that's right.
Let her ass walk out into the abyss. Don't send her away. If she leaves, that's on her dumb ass. Because we still acknowledge marriage, man.
Yep.
Like, we still live by the laws here. We still tell Jake to repent. Even after everything we're saying, which is a reality, we're still living by the law of the Lord. You know?
That's right. And it reads,
now you got children, you may not be able to see your babies, but the Lord is still gonna protect them.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. It reads, it says, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
Out of nowhere. You just think you taking the A train again.
Whew.
You know? I'm gonna just take the highway to work.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
You just I'm waiting for the AC and then the lights turn on. See, I was like suddenly. That's what my point that I'm getting at is everybody outside of brotherhood that I'm around, they're not ready for suddenly. You know? They think that their vehicle's still gonna work. They're still gonna have their home, their job, their money, their comfort, their guilty pleasures.
Yep.
So what are these people gonna do when those are stripped from them?
They're gonna crash out.
They're gonna crash out.
They're gonna panic. You know?
Just like old girl in the Purge Forever. That's when she finally answered the phone call.
Yep. On the first ring.
Yep.
Because before that, in a different scene earlier in the movie, she didn't answer him at all.
And she saw it though.
Yeah. She looked at it and, you know, egged him.
I'm truly understanding when the Lord said they're deprived of wisdom. If you can't see the benefits of a man of the Lord, or how the Lord is going to protect us in Jacob's trouble, you're deprived of wisdom, man. You know?
Right.
Because in the spirit, I humbly saying, in the spirit, we're getting ready for Jacob's trouble. Meaning we're going to hit it head on. Remember how Dr. Neville went up with that zombie?
Yeah.
That's how we're looking at Jacob's trouble. Going head up with that shit. You know?
That's right. Because the Lord gave us, that wisdom and knowledge, to be a stability in those times.
I'm going to say it with rude in speech. All right, he gave us our spiritual balls back.
That's right.
And that's exactly what you're going to have in Jacob's trouble, man. If you walk into Jacob's trouble with nut chest syndrome, you're not ready, man.
Right.
You're not ready.
The precept. Yep.
Let's read it.
Yep. Isaiah 13:12.
Can you read it, please?
Yep. Oh, got you. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
What man? An Israelite man.
Right.
An elect Israelite man, predestined from the beginning. We're not even proud. But now the Lord has given us self-worth. He's given us a self-love. He's given us forgiveness of ourselves. Did I already say it's Men's Mental Health Month?
I believe so.
It's Men's Mental Health Month, man. But what are they saying? It's June.
Right.
Was June, the Wadi Abbas from outside to that nice, peaceful officer that just waved to us, okay? Because he could have stopped and he could have did something, So the Wadi Abbas from outside for making our enemies be happy. See?
Yeah.
Okay? But anyways, what are you going to say?
Like you said, mental
Health Month.
Right.
Men's mental health
exactly.
month.
And the ones that's going through the most is the holy prophets. Because we going through that spiritual war, which ultimately it's all mental war, but nobody's considering that.
Your brain should be like this.
That's right.
And then sometimes they clinch. I'm tired right now.
Yeah.
And it's break. Then you back at it. Like there's a viral video of this Northernite. He was listening to Eminem, and he was like mad sick. And then Jake said, "You all right? You all right?" And he turned, he smiled, he said,
"Yeah."
And you could see the fucking pain in his face.
Yeah, bro. Yep.
You could see the pain in his face. I know you miss your mom. I know you miss your dad. And you people show us that we are the pillar, okay? You people show us that we are the head.
Yep.
And you know how they show it? By when they fuck up and then they say, you were supposed to stop me.
Yeah.
Oh, what you got, Crowders out by?
Real quick.
Yeah, please.
Just to finish the brother's precept.
He said, someone said, most Eves are sleeper cells for the beast. Well, when you go into the definition of sleeper cell, that's not correct.
Right.
But they are the number one crash out
Yeah.
for the beast and will be a number one victim to the beast. But I know what you mean, Mr. Juggernaut.
Real quick, just to finish this off. This is Isaiah 13:12. It says, I will make a man, or elect Israelite man, more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. But right now, these people don't see us as gold. Because right now it says, what's that? 1 Corinthians, I believe the first chapter. It says that we're despised. We're the least, here in the world. But the Lord is dealing with us.
They can't see that we're gold because we still have impurities.
That's right.
So when you pick something up, it's like you don't see that there's gold in there. Look at that, son.
Right.
Look at that, there's gold. But then you gotta burn it.
Right.
And the only way you can burn impurities from gold is 1,000 degrees Celsius.
Right.
And that's the only way impurities float to the top, and then gold becomes liquefied. And as it says, be like water, my friend. So you accept the will of the Lord, and he forms you into this new creature, and now you become this man, and you have this whole different thought process, this whole different reaction to actions, and now you're molded for use.
That's right.
Okay? There's a spiritual, beautiful analogy when it comes to the process of refining gold into a precious ring or a crown.
Yeah.
Okay? And then that's how you get 24 karat gold.
That's right. 2 Corinthians 5:17.
So embrace it. Embrace. That's why when you going through your hell, brothers, you be like,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Because you're fire. Even when you put a hot ring in water, what's it do? Burn.
Yeah.
Burn, baby, burn.
Right. And even when you feel like you got the anxiety spirit on you at times, because it's the flesh. Sometimes shit happens. You feel hot inside. It's like, damn, I just want to,
I just want to leave.
Yeah.
I want to get out the heat.
Yeah,
but
bro.
it says, make not haste. Because if you make haste, you're not going to be able to burn at the right temperature to be formable.
Right.
Now you're going to be a dirty ring.
Yep.
What you got, Crowders Abba?
This is Ecclesiasticus 2:5.
Perfect.
For gold is tried in the fire.
There you go.
And acceptable men
right.
in the furnace of adversity.
So
acceptable men.
There it is.
Right.
Key word, acceptable men.
That's
perfect.
You got to be tried in the furnace and be acceptable.
Exactly.
Acceptable men of the Lord.
Exactly.
Right, yep.
So can you accept what Job went through? You know, can you accept being shipwrecked but not distressed? Can you accept the world hating you and loving its own? Can you accept being looked at as strange? You know? You gonna say something, brother?
Job was being tried in the furnace of adversity.
Exactly.
He was a man of the Lord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See? So you have to accept those things. You have to accept the woman tripping. You have to accept your own mother tripping, your own children, your boss, your job, even sometimes even you.
Yeah.
You gotta accept that shit.
You like, man, I was tripping.
But that's why Apostle Paul said, the things that I want to do, I can't.
Yeah.
You know? You be like, man, today I ain't doing this. Then shit happen and you do it.
Yeah. Or vice versa. I'm about to do this today. Then you don't do it.
I'm about to work out today. Guess what, Ock? I'm about to do 100 pull-ups. And you at home sipping. Fuck. Like, damn. You know? What's even that? You know? Like me personally, I'm choosing more to work out instead of just sipping and chilling. You know? Yeah, so it may be a hard day, but fuck it. We Israelite men. Who said we not supposed to handle hard days? It said, the Most High won't give you nothing you can't handle.
That's right.
But it'll make a way for you to escape.
That's right.
And when you escape, that's because you're being formed now. See what the Israelite man goes through. Shout out to Israelite Men Mental Health Month.
Yep.
All right,
For real.
got it all on our shoulders. Like the priests had the burdens, which symbolize Yahweh Shai, which is us carrying our cross.
That's right.
So you ain't got no one around you helping carry your cross. Keep pushing.
That's right. Real quick, this is the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 10. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord.
So you can't be a prophet if you don't have the name.
Yeah.
Kradazaba, what's the name? Of the Lord.
Oh, Yahweh Shai.
What's the
Yahweh
Father?
Shai is
Yep.
Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
What's the mark of the beast?
It's the Quran.
Boom, that's a prophet. That's simple. But look at how IUIC Wi-Fi does a 5-hour video to just what's got to explain in under 30 seconds.
Oh, man.
The simplicity of Yahweh Shai. Niggas is gonna get beat, bro. Mitris is gonna be tilted. Head wraps is gonna be undone.
Yeah.
Fringes is scattered across the floor. Garments is gonna be up, tossed on the ceiling. Shit is about to get raw out here,
Yeah.
man. It's about to get bad. Then they got alligator Alcatraz being created in Florida. You seen
Yeah,
that?
bro.
They're
Yeah.
creating a fucking a death camp for Jake, surrounded by the Everglades.
Yep.
It's hot, it's muggy, and then you got the gator bait, and I equate a crocodile like a serpent. You know what I mean? Like Esau, the dragon.
Yeah.
You
it
know?
is. Yeah.
He's about to come down.
Yeah.
Florida is the only state that has alligators and crocodiles.
Damn.
So they got both.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Florida.
probably, I
Yeah.
think that's the only location
Right.
that has both.
And remember in Egypt, we got fed to alligators
Yeah.
in the Nile.
Yeah. Florida. That's a different state.
You had a precept?
No, I was just gonna make a point.
Well-
AI says the gold heating process known as smelting involves melting gold or scrap at high temperatures to separate it from impurities and form a molten metal that can be cast into a desired shape.
Boom!
Oh.
Right here. Right here. Comparison. Spiritual refinement versus gold processing. Gold in the fire. It's extracted from the earth, which is what? Calling the elect from out of the world. So we're looking for gold, which is looking for the elect. Okay, look. North American Airlines targeted by cyber attack.
Oh, wow.
The water y'all about to outside. Wait till that famine comes.
Woo, shit.
And the
Dang.
video is going to be removed, but not by the user.
Right.
It says, heated intensely to remove dross, tested through suffering, trials, and hardships. So you're being, it's like a spiritual plank. It's a push-up. It's a sit-up. It's a curl, a pull-up. You know, then you start seeing the benefits. You're like, oh, shit. So then how much more the spiritual benefits, you know? And it says, gold impurities rise and are removed versus elect, sins and flaws are revealed and purged. So if you ain't got flaws being revealed, you're not being refined.
Yep.
You know? If you ain't got flaws being revealed, you ain't being refined. Okay? So now imagine an average woman going in that furnace.
Oh,
The
yeah.
apostles give testimony all the time. You had just because I heard the apostles mentioned a few times, I'm only saying it because I heard them say it. I wasn't there, you know. But one of the elders at that time had a woman who knew she was an Israelite, so she went and did the Day of Atonement with him. They said she didn't even last till 8 o'clock.
Damn. Wasn't even 2 hours. I got a couple precepts. This is first.
So humble down, man. You know what's humbling to me when people admit I can't do that. Help me.
You're right.
I got you. But when you act like you could do it right, bro, I'm like, all right, go do it then. It's just like a father to a son. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. All right, go do it. And he come back, right? You got your ass humble. See? So you sisters, man, hey, take heed, bruh. Because it's about to get bad out here.
Yep.
And brothers, take bigger heed. Because you're in an office as a future leader, man. As a future God. A ruler forever. This place don't want you to think about forever, but then they tell you to bow down to me until death do us part. Bitch, why we gotta have death? Why I gotta die?
Right.
Why I gotta die?
Hey, and usually in marriages, the man dies first.
Because he's older and he got a young one.
Yep.
He got the young.
You know? Real quick, I got a couple precepts pertaining to the baptism. This is Zechariah 13:9. And I will bring the third part through the fire.
Which is going to be ultimately the thermonuclear fire.
Right.
Psalms 91, 1,000 on thy right, 10,000 on thy left. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. You know?
And it reads.
Great song, by the way.
It says, and will refine them as silver is refined.
Yeah, that's what Jacob's trouble is going to do. It's going to ultimately show us who we are. You know, think about guilty pleasures you have, and now imagine serving the Lord without them.
Yeah.
You know, think about the things you got. Will you still serve the Lord without them?
That's right.
That's why these other camps right now, it's like, yeah, it sounds good because you got everything. And another thing, we're supposed to be in sackcloth. And then you got IUIC wearing gay apparel, meaning nice garments.
Flashy.
Why are we wearing flashy garments when we're all jacked up? We're supposed to be in sackcloth, you know? I'm just reading the updates because it's constant judgment going on. But anyways, IUIC, they're wearing the wrong apparel. They're pushing the wrong message to you. Those are false prophets. Those are bought and paid for agents, man. All right? So you sleeping with the enemy. You're getting popped by an FBI agent.
Oof. And it reads, and will
You know that was a thing where the FBI, they got in a little scandal because they was popping the bitches and intern.
Oh, shit.
Why the fuck you think we tell you women watch who the fuck you talking to at work, dummy?
Yep.
Fucking Eve all over again.
Yep.
All women do, they have the characteristic of Eve with the serpent. I was watching Bicentennial, man, and the bitch fell in love with a metal nigga, man. And then he wanted the first daughter, then he was gonna this is a robot. He was gonna commit adultery with this bitch. That didn't happen. So then he came back and got the great-granddaughter.
Damn.
And committed adultery with her. So you got women getting popped by mechanical serpents, man. This shit is sick. Yeah, I just watched it, Bicentennial. By 2 Centennial 100, so he lasted 200 years. And then the AI, he read all these books, he wanted to become human. Then the fucking Teemanite scientist gave him a rod, and he was popping a human woman.
Oh, man.
That she left her human man for.
Oh, man.
Fuck out of here. I'm supposed to want to be happy here? I'm supposed to be happy to be here? I'm supposed to fucking get married according to the state and let my little so-called black babies wear fringes in public school and get beat up by other black kids? The fuck out of here, man. You other Israelite camps, you're an enemy to the state, man. You're an enemy. You're an enemy to our salvation. Yahushua say you close up the kingdom of heaven.
And it reads, back in Zechariah 13:9, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name.
That's Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
That's right. And I will hear them.
It's like when, it reminds me of like Batman, like Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
He was sitting there, then they put the Batman symbol in the sky. He said, that's like the Lord. Like in Egypt. Then I heard them.
Yeah, I heard the groanings.
You know?
That's right. It says the prayer of the righteous pierces the clouds. Every time you pray, you know, hey, man, the Lord hears that. The Lord sees that.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. But call on Christ.
Hell no.
Call on Jesus.
You got Israelite camps out here calling on Jesus Christ. You know, they said Yahweh, then they said Jesus Christ.
IUIC are black Hebrew Israelites.
Yes.
And then it's a red flag to me when these camps do videos and they post themselves as black Israelites.
Yeah.
You niggers.
Yeah, man. And it reads.
That's a Federal Bureau of Investigation coined term.
Yes.
Okay? That's a coined term. And where are all the Christians at as prophecies happening? Huh? Where's the Christians at? Christians, what happens when you die? Christians, what happened when you die? Christian, who's salvation for? See, all these questions ain't being answered, but everyone is telling us we got lies, or we're bearing lies, but we're the only ones answering questions that you don't got answers for.
Exactly.
That's why prophecy is gonna beat the shit out you people, man.
Right. These Christians have no precepts and scriptures to back what the fuck they talk about.
In Jacob's trouble, Lord's will, I'm gonna be in the spirit of Michael Jackson and Thriller in the theater eating popcorn, nigga.
Right.
With a red leather jacket on, because it might be cold. You know? Might be a red AVX jacket. Remember those shits?
Hell yeah.
Fuck y'all, man. We worried about our salvation, the body of believers. We're a small sanctuary. You know?
Zechariah 13:9, it reads, they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say it is my people, and they shall say the Lord is my God.
Wow.
That's talking about the elect.
Yep.
Because in Galatians 6:16, it says the Israel of God. Not all Israel on this side is going to make it, you know, just like in ancient Egypt. But this Egypt, all, you know, the elect is going to make it, you know?
Yep.
Real quick, we got one more.
Okay.
This is 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be.
Yeah, because everybody else is rejoicing.
Yep.
Everybody else is eating.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Always fucking eating, too.
Gyrating.
Yeah.
Holding hands and celebrating.
Mm-hmm. The water. Yep, there you go. It says,
which we don't walk around mean, mad, or depressed.
mm-hmm.
You know, we don't walk around like that. People don't even guess. People would have no idea what we know or what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And it says, 1 Peter 1 and 6, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations. That the trial.
Yeah, you gotta accept the fact. Even a woman that's got a man may holler at you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, this bitch.
Yeah.
You're an adulterer.
Just like Joseph
in Egypt.
And the Pharaoh's wife.
Yeah, that bitch was probably 6'7".
Yeah.
With a 200-pound ass.
Mm-hmm.
With a neck rings. And he had to flee.
Joseph said, get your fucking hands off me.
Yeah. Then he got arrested. That's why we're in a time, brothers, man, you cannot allow the accusations of man to dictate your mental status.
Yeah.
You know, your spiritual peace.
Yeah.
You know?
And it reads that the trying,
they don't have authority over you.
They don't
have authority.
Mm-hmm. It says that the trial of your faith being
the trial of your faith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to test your faith. So your faith is in question.
Yeah.
So Satan is a demonic DA.
Yeah.
And he's trying to convince the judge that you're guilty.
Right.
Then Yahushua is your lawyer combating him.
Mm-hmm.
So everything he brings up that you did, he may even bring up adultery.
Yeah.
But then Yahushua brings out his blood, and now he dismissed. Then he comes again, dismissed.
Yep.
So Esau is a physical representation of what Satan has been hired to do against us.
That's right.
That's why Esau is Satan in the flesh. Esau is un poquito. Esau is low level. Esau is the basis of man. Esau needs a gun to feel alive. And baked beans. That nigga ain't got it. Like, you know what I mean? He don't got it. They're low level. These are just humans. When you brothers start understanding, oh, it's just a human. Oh, she's just emotional. You become, like they say, Zen.
Yeah, like nonchalant, they say.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
You know?
You know, and that's understanding the will of the Lord.
Exactly.
You know? 1 Peter 1 and 7, that the trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold that perisheth.
Yeah, you got men that go through a trial to make a team.
Yep.
You got a bitch who'll tell you, prove to me.
Fuck out of here, man.
Prove to me your love.
If I gotta prove to you, then you fuck out of here,
bitch,
bro.
trip on a rock.
Yeah, man.
I'll help you up. Because we nice. We see we still nice. It's okay. Like the apostles say, when we get in the kingdom, we're ultimately going to say it's okay. Because we understand. You got to understand who got demons on them. You got to understand, like you got Jakes right now, they're still in entry mode. Soon as Edomite kills a Jake, man, fuck this, y'all. Yo, man, Obadiah, bruh. Like, they're like in the Thessalonian spirit. Like, they're like crying about dead Israelites that have passed. You got to man up, bro.
Yeah.
You got to understand the will of the Lord moving forward.
Yeah.
If an end-up comes up and she asks why we in front of her fucking Mason church, we're going to tell her. She got Satan on her, so let's agree with our adversary, you know? Call her queen.
And use soft words.
I'm sorry, queen. Are you a mother? How was your Sunday Mother's Day? Brother, get her a flyer. Oh, we ran out. Okay, have a good one. It's back to business.
Yep.
All right, that's Riz. All right?
Right.
Huh?
That's how you Satan at bay.
Yeah.
You know?
You look nice.
Yeah, you look nice. Let me get the door for you, sis. This bitch tinkle in, you know?
And then slam it right behind you.
Yeah.
1 Peter 1:7, it says.
But you ain't gonna feel that way every day.
Right, exactly.
You know, you're not gonna feel that way every day.
It says, being much more precious than of gold that perishes.
But in these last days, who the F, you know what I want to say? Who the fuck else is going through this and doing this and attempting? We're actually attempting to be good humans, and we're not even human. We just in this flesh. We in this chains, you know? We in this costume. We in this forced position. We're waiting for the barrier of these bonds to be broken so we can experience our first estate again. That's what we believe. This motherfucker believes people are reptilians. I can't believe that was a spirit created from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know? We're waiting to get back, man. Esau is a caveman with a metal primitive spirit called a gun, a real life Flintstone. Yep. And that Flintstone can kill too.
Yeah.
That nigga will yabba dabba do on you. That's why you need the Lord. Because the Lord can have a bitch ass Edomite whoop your ass.
The Lord gave him power right now.
Yeah,
You know?
right now. That's why you agree with your adversary quickly. Obey the powers that be. You know? Good morning. Good morning, Bill. And keep it pushing.
Yeah.
You know? For now. You got it, bro.
And it reads, though it be tried with fire,
That's right.
might be found unto praise and honor.
But the fire you're going through is for your in particular purging. You might be a little proud. You might be a little stiff-necked. You might got a little lip. You gotta deal with that shit. And you be like, man, well, I see what they mean. And you go through it. Shit, I know. I had to learn to shut the fuck up sometimes. I said, let me shut up. Because everything that I'm doing ain't working, even though it seems right. But that ain't the scene in the movie. So you go back, you pray, you read some different precepts. Now it's go, oh, maybe this is what I'm supposed to say in that scene.
Like you said earlier, it's like multiple choice.
Yeah.
You know, next time instead of use A, go with B.
Yep.
You
And
know?
it works. Then you get a little farther in the game. You know?
But that's how it is in games. Like you gotta. Sometimes you may die, but then you dying. You know, you
Experience.
exactly. So now it becomes easier.
Yep.
That's why it says, though the outward man perishes, we are renewed day by day.
And it says the righteous man falleth 7 times.
There you go.
So if you got people around you that ain't trying to stick around because you failed, they were just used as a stepping stone.
That's right. To get to the next level. You know, you got some characters in certain video games you're never gonna see them again, but one time.
Yeah.
They may get killed off, and that's it.
Like the job you've had, cars you've had, houses, you may get attached to one, and now you on your 3rd vehicle.
Yeah.
4th house, 5th wife. Nah, I'm just.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I'm
that's
just saying.
that's how it is.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It's a reality.
You can be like, oh shit, I forgot about her. So, yeah.
And we not even adulterers.
Yeah. And it reads 1 Peter 1:7. It says, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Mind you, this is all happening as the end of an age.
Yeah.
This is happening before a famine.
Yeah.
This is happening before suddenly destruction.
Yeah.
You know, this is happening before there's no day like it. So these people, Jacob have to go through the baptism of fire, literally, in Jacob's trouble.
Exactly. Because we're going through that spiritual baptism.
like preseason.
That's right. Exactly.
You know?
And they gonna have to get burned in that nuclear fire literally to be baptized.
Yep.
But that's why they gonna be right in the kingdom. But on this side, they got to get judged.
That's why we're getting right now.
That's right.
We're getting right now. That's what it's about. Where we at now?
That was it right there.
Okay.
I had 1 Peter 4.
Yeah, finish that.
Okay.
We didn't even get too far.
You had a
now.
precept, Prazaba?
No.
Okay. Back in 1 Peter 4, and it was the last
The
line.
mark of the beast is the RFID chip. America is a virgin daughter, Babylon the Great. Right. The so-called white man is Esau. Mm-hmm. Okay? Eve is a weaker vessel. All right? Mm-hmm. The Israelite man is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The elect will be scarcely saved. Mm-hmm. All right? Russia, China, Persia, and NATO will participate in the destruction of America in the Third World War. Amalek, who's over in our land, the bastard in Ashdod, Edom, part in our land, is ultimately going to be the main catalyst that leads Babylon into war. Hence, you saw with them attacking Persia. Yep. But now there's a ceasefire because it says they shall say peace and safety. Yep. Excuse me. In the NV, it says shalom and safety.
Oh yeah.
So what? They could say shalom and safety.
Yep.
Okay. People are going to be taken in a great number. America's going to have to fight in a great sky battle, and they're going to be destroyed by what you think are so-called UFOs, but those are the chariots of Yasharallah.
Right.
Michael the Archangel is going to come back looking like a so-called beautiful black man, and he's going to defend us.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. This is back in 1 Peter 4 and verse 1. The second line, it says,
but this place will tell you they need 3 references.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, right.
See how much shit you gotta do for man that's vain?
Yeah.
But how much beautiful things are for the Lord and it benefits us?
Yeah.
You do all this for a job and it don't even make you better.
Yeah.
You drinking more. You ain't working out. You don't see your children.
Yeah.
But then the things the Lord puts us through, you know, it makes us better. Now you're working out. You're in shape. You're becoming a better character.
Yeah.
You know, you're becoming a better father, a better brother. So it's like you're giving yourself to Babylon to destroy you, but you give yourself to the Lord and it fixes you.
Exactly. That's why, like here, like in Babylon, you can do things, but in Babylon, it's not guaranteed. You can fill out an application for a job. You can get the interview, but the job is not promised.
You could marry her.
But she can leave it the next day. You know, but serving the Lord is guaranteed.
This fucking black social media page, it always posts about reparations. Mm-hmm. And then it's always picking up black women. Mm-hmm. So the other day they posted Tina Taylor. What's that bitch name?
Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, that ugly gook-looking face black woman.
Classic bitch.
She got some Moabite in her. But it's all good. So they were like praising her. And I'm like, but this is the same woman that used the system that oppressed us to get $8,000 a month in over 4 houses from a so-called black man that we're supposed to call king on one day, but he's just now a fucking paycheck for her. Yep. So we need more than reparations.
Exactly.
You black people don't even address the problem in the room, and that's the woman.
Yep.
And we address the man. Hence why we're being fixed ourselves. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The black community doesn't acknowledge their own elephant in their own room. Yeah, Esau's a part of it, but who's within?
Eve.
Like he's Juggernaut, the sleeper cell within.
Yeah, the female.
Yeah.
You know? Back in 1 Peter 4 and verse 1, for he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin.
And you suffer from what? Your God-given rights.
Right.
Women, children, the body,
yeah,
home, job, financial, mental. Notice how we accept all these things and acknowledge them, but other counterparts act like that shit don't exist.
Yeah. No, and all that shit costs fucking money too. All that shit. Even when you die, you gotta pay for that shit. You know, this place is captivity, bro.
This place is against us.
You know? Yeah.
This place is against the Israelite man.
Damn.
And then now you got black women getting on Jake women that are Israelites.
Yeah. Yep.
So you got Jake women that are attempting to be righteous, submissive, in the spirit, and you got fucking hole-in-the-wall hoochies getting online. Their seat smells like red onions, talking shit about you for being in order. You can't see Satan? Like Robert De Niro said at Casino. You didn't see by the third jackpot that they were scamming you?
Yep.
You can't see that bitch is evil? You can't see that those are false prophets? You can't have someone like that in your corner because that's another door that has to be shut. Otherwise, Satan's going to walk in.
Right. Exactly. That's why
wearing lingerie on the Sabbath.
Exactly. That's why you got nip shit in the bud like that.
Yep.
You know, that's why I see why the judgment from Yahweh Shema Shai is justified.
Yeah.
It's overly justified.
Yeah.
You know, it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Like shit's gotten worse. You know, even trying to have a simple life has gotten worse.
Just
you
being
gotta deal with demonic neighbors. You gotta deal with being subject to payments. You know, shit's captivity. That's why I'm glad Yahweh Shai is coming back.
Being too loud.
Being too loud.
It's like they want you to tuck your nuts in.
Yeah,
man.
bro.
I'm like, damn, they just started hanging.
Damn.
Shit. And then this another thing I noticed. You know what I mean? Cause I've been on Earth more than 20 years, right? I've been on Earth more than 30 years. Motherfuckers still try to call me boy. Bitch,
Yeah.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I said, when the fuck does the Israelite man start getting referred to as man? It's always, hey boys. I checked the Edomite the other day on Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Shout out to Abraham Lincoln. I said, this nigga said, what's up, boys? I said, it's men now. It's Juneteenth. He said, facts.
Yeah.
So sometimes, So sometimes you gotta fucking, hey, bruh. And they like, my bad. You right. So brothers, stop. Don't be a carpet. You don't be a line in your household. No one's telling you lying in your household. But no one's telling you to be a carpet either. Because if you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile.
Exactly.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if a brother, you see a demon on a brother, you gotta check it. Hey, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? One thing I'm gonna tell you, the way we carry ourselves as men in the Great Millstone, you Israelite woman, a lot of you wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yep.
Remember Miriam got kicked out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can't be here, but it's like you gotta be like, damn, you know what? He's right. Shit. You got men getting kicked out for saying this or breaking this down wrong. I need to make sure my ass is constantly in check. Because Miriam got suspended for 7 days.
Yeah. She had to be outside the camp.
Yep.
In the wilderness.
Here, cool.
At night,
Cool.
in day. Yeah.
It was like a Wizard of Oz woods.
Yeah.
Remember that shit was scary.
Yeah.
The trees was talking and shit.
Yeah, bro. You got a precept crowd job box and you had your hand up.
So just sit in the beach chair and chill.
All right. Back in 1 Peter 4 and verse 2, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men.
So we have to be spiritual.
Yeah.
We can't always just be in the flesh. We can't always just barbecue. We can't always just go to mommy. I ain't kicking with you no more. I'm going to mommy house.
Yeah.
We can't run away from our problems.
Yeah.
You other people, you get the luxury to run away, but it says make not haste in a time of trouble.
That's right.
So we live in a whole different world than the rest of our own people, man.
Right.
Okay?
We're not carnally minded.
We can't be.
You know, because like, okay, I get it. You know, you have guilty pleasures. You may indulge in the flesh here and
You may
there.
have sex.
Yeah.
You may be with your woman.
Mm-hmm.
You may want more from her and her body.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not always in that mode.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I notice is the spiritual man is not respected.
Mm-hmm.
Being the bigger man is not respected because you're dealing with humans.
Yep.
You're dealing with humans. So a human is carnal.
Mm-hmm.
He walked away. He's scared. He's scared. Then you walk away with your woman. Satan's telling her that you're with a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand, brothers, we are in a world that is encased by carnality.
Straight up. 1 Peter 4 and verse 2, and it says, but to the will of the Most High,
Yeah.
for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
Yeah, we used to live like a Gentile. Shaved face. I didn't have a beard in the world. And then the Holy Spirit made me grow my beard before I knew as an Israelite I was supposed to have one. As a personal testimony, when I found out I was an Israelite, I had a fucking shaved face. You know, you thought I was an Ephraimite. Okay, I had a shaved face, no glasses, out here getting it as I thought. Okay? And then I was able to receive the truth, and I started speaking and talking, and then one day I started letting the beard grow. You know, I started letting the beard grow, and then I never stopped. I didn't shave it. you know, put the wicked Gentile devices down, you know. And I remember one day I used to have waves. You know, I didn't have dreads or nothing, but I used to have waves and shit. You know, Jake with the do-rag. And then one day I was walking down the street. I said, man, fuck these waves. And I went like that, fucking, you know, with the waves, they be down. I went like this. Bro, everything was down, but this little middle part, I was crazy. But I was going through it. So I said, man, fuck this shit. And I had a friend at the time, and he said, you look like how you speak. So that was the Lord moving. So I didn't have to go past IUIC, all right? Which proves that there's a lot of times you don't need to be told all the law.
Exactly.
The spirit will tell you. That's why you murderers need the law.
Yeah.
And adulterers need the law. It's like a collar to you, you brute beast.
Yeah. Even just laying back over your testimony, bro. Before the truth, the Lord, I stopped eating pork. You know, I stopped eating pork and I stopped smoking and shit. And then I believe like a couple months later, I came into the truth. You know, like the Lord opened my eyes and like I literally threw the pork down. I said, ugh, fucking spit that shit out and threw that shit away. You know?
Yeah, that shit's demonic.
Yeah, but that's how powerful, you know, the Lord is, you know? At any moment. Just like, you know, I believe in the book of Acts, the scales off of Paul's eyes, you know, it fell off. You know, his spiritual eyes got open, you know?
Yep. And pork is demonic.
Yeah.
That's why in the Maccabees, they wanted to sacrifice swine on the altar. That should tell you right there. Pork is demonic, man.
Yeah, bro.
Causes parasites.
Yeah.
Brain sites. That shit'll jack you up, man.
Slowly killing you.
That shit's
you know?
disgusting.
And Esau promotes that shit like a delicacy, you know?
Yep.
Back.
Your car's on. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Back in 1 Peter 1 and, back in 1 Peter 4 and verse 3, it says...
Did we salute the chat?
Huh?
Did we salute the chat?
I believe so.
Okay.
If not, hey, how about thumb to you brothers and few sisters.
Yeah, to you brothers and you sisters. Because I always like to say that for the sisters being the weaker vessel. You know, we understand how you got to be handled too. But in the spirit, this all has to be acknowledged and addressed. You know? Speaking of dress, that's why a lot of black women go to IUIC. It's fine. We don't need it. It's fine.
I forgot to bring them. The water, bro.
Send up prayers.
That's right. 1 Peter 4 and 3, it says, when we walked in lasciviousness.
Yep, and cleanness.
Yep.
I was a dirty-ass Gentile. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, of course, we did things according to the law. Like, in the world, I'll be like, yo, you can't. I knew not to eat pork.
Right. See?
You know, I knew not to eat pork. Commits adultery. You know, in the world, I also knew, I'm like, you can't kill yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So there's things we knew in the world that we stuck to.
Yeah.
You see?
Even fearing the Most High. You know? Even without the name. But it's that zeal.
Yeah.
You know?
We just didn't have knowledge.
Yeah.
So now we're getting the knowledge with it.
That's right. It says, walked in lasciviousness.
Yeah, uncleanness, nastiness, horny.
Yeah.
Walking around a horny-ass Gentile. That's why now we really be warning, you warn your woman basically about the old man you were. Like, I know that nigga exists.
Yep. And niggas out here are like that.
Yeah. I know a nigga right now who bought an ice cream truck just to commit adultery. Serious?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I've seen Jake's, you know, me and the truth, you know, a couple years back, I was at this job, and then Jake, he was so fucking just horny all the time. Like, he would stop what he was doing working and try to talk to a woman that he knew had a man and she was pregnant. I'm like,
oh my
damn,
God,
bro, she got a man pregnant and with a baby in a stroller. I'm like, bro, I gotta get away from him.
Yeah, because if not, I'm putting hands and feet on you.
That's ridiculous.
I'm putting hands and feet on you in a blind spot, too. Because I know there's cameras.
Exactly. but meanwhile, you got niggas like that doing that, but over here, you got Esau getting ready to come down. And then everybody acts like you're crazy for bringing this up. Come on, man.
All meanwhile, like the brother said, Esau is sharper than the sword.
Exactly.
So while he distracted you with the theatric war of Persian Amalek, they passed the Genius Act.
Just like that.
Genius.
You know?
You unstable, getting ready to have to use stable coin.
Yeah.
And why is it called stable coin? Because they want you to trust in their currency because the dollar's in doubt.
Exactly.
Hence why they gave you a social security number so that the public could have more trust in the economic security.
That's right.
So that if something happened, you would still be secure financially. Duh, it's the same fucking play.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same playbook. That's why it's called stable coin.
That's right.
They're trying to tell you that it will be stable in a time of unstableness.
That's right. And it reads, lusts, excess of wine,
Yep.
revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it's strange that
If you bow down to a woman, that's an idol.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, bro. A woman now here in Babylon is a fucking idol, bro.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And you have millions of men that bow down to him.
Queen of
conform
heaven.
to him. Yeah.
Queen of heaven.
Mm-hmm. Remember a couple months back you had the statue of the black woman?
Yep.
That alone proves it.
Yep.
You know?
And then they had thick statues of Ishtar. She had thick ass legs,
Big butt.
B cup boobies.
Yep.
With the wings. That's why the Victoria's Secret. Anytime you see a woman with wings, that's Queen of Heaven, man.
Right.
I'm gonna get your fucking ass off of that, man.
Yeah.
What you doing?
That's why-
Angels are men.
Yes, right. That's right. So-called black men, to be exact.
And see the demons on them, they don't want to hear that. Like a badass child.
Mm-hmm.
And you women need to accept you are just little girls in big bodies.
That's right.
Okay?
And it reads,
That's why Usher said daddy's home.
that's right. You make daddy a sandwich.
That's right.
That's right,
And
bro.
with that fucking
Real.
top heavy bitch, she was like, you supposed to protect. See the logic?
Mhm.
Women don't accept the fact that they are dumb. And it's no diss. It's meaning like, damn, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
You know? The top chess players are men. The top cooks are men. You know? When you
Yeah.
really, women can pass a man. So he's using you delusional women right now to bring in an agenda.
That's right.
So don't be a part of the stereotype
That's right.
of the serpent. You know?
And that's the role in the scriptures that's been given.
Like-
Man,
yep.
You know, Yahweh Shai, there's like man and woman, child, you know? But yet we're in a land of confusion. So everything's upside down. That's why a woman thinks that she can beat you up, that she can, be better than you.
Yeah.
You know, well, okay, have that same thought until there's trouble. You know, have that same energy when shit hits the fan, you know?
Right. When you say we're not equal, they don't understand what you mean because they're carnal.
Come on.
All right, square up.
Come on, man.
Square up. Square up,
Exactly,
babe.
bro. Dumb idol.
Square up, babe.
Fucking dumb.
What's dumb means you can't speak or see.
Yeah. And some bitches, never mind,
They
man.
can't see.
Let me
Well,
read this
Isaiah
precept.
6, it says their eyes are cursed. But this is the reality that we're in moving forward.
Yeah.
That you have to understand. You have to understand this moving forward, man. When that mark of the beast comes, that's gonna be the great divider.
Yep.
That's gonna be the it factor. The MOTB is gonna prove where you stand spiritually and mentally.
Exactly, bro.
Are you ready to die?
That's it, for real.
You know, are you ready to die for the Lord? Can we get Rev 20 and 4? Please?
For real, bro. And it says, and the ones that take that mark, they're gonna die a brutal death.
After they're gonna be mocked first.
That's right.
Remember
Yeah.
derision?
Yep.
They're gonna be mocked first.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
in the fucking camp, if you know what I'm talking
You're
about.
gonna see half-naked, dark-skinned, big booty black woman
Yep.
crying through with half-grown blonde hair because they can't re-dye it.
Yep.
So their natural hair is kind of growing in. They're gonna be sobbing, looking through, beat up, babies looking for their mothers, fathers are dead. This is the reality that we understand is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone is ready to accept that. So don't let them rock you back to sleep.
That's right.
For some fucking birthday party, some cake. Happy, happy, happy. I'm so happy today. Hell nah.
You got that in Rev 20?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, bring it out.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them.
So we're getting judgment. This is undercover boss. I say that shit to people at work.
Yeah,
Fuck
yep.
with their brain. Ooh. Cause you know the position I got, carnally, you would think that that's just some dumb nigga's job. But then the way I speak, carry myself, I be helping fucking people that got PhDs figure shit out. Hey, you know, you should probably, thank you, man. You know, thank you, man. Remember I was telling you about that? He said, thank you.
I'm gonna use that next
He
time.
told me use that.
Yeah.
So anyways, then one time I said something, and they were like, you're right. And I said, You ever see Undercover Boss? And they were like, ooh. I said, hey, think about it. And I went off and went and did my job. You know? The fuck with their head sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, planting a seed.
Yeah.
You know, they always want you to fuck them physically. Sometimes it may pop you mentally. Okay? Keep going.
And I saw the
And
soul.
brothers, continue to be men. Okay? Because if you ain't tapping into your masculinity now, you will not be masculine in Jacob's trouble. All right?
Yep. Don't be like old boy from Leave the World Behind.
Or don't be like Batista.
Oh, and Bushwick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was fucking raw with it, ready, working out, ex-military. Then that one little 5'2" blonde piece of ass got him moited.
Yeah, bro.
Got him murked. Because she was gonna go her own way.
Yeah.
What did he say? You can go your own way.
Yeah.
You can go your own way.
And he fucking followed her.
And then pop, pop.
Fuck, man.
Nigga Tupac came out the bathroom.
He looked back.
Well, it wasn't Tupac, but you know, he looked back.
Yeah, bro. Because in the beginning of the movie, she was with a weak ass Edomite, and then I think
He died.
Yeah, he died.
That little faggot.
And then she was getting chased by two dudes or some shit like that.
Which you know what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop fronting.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, IUIC, we know why you're bringing women into the congregation.
Yeah.
No real shit. And then
Real.
they tell their men to divorce her if she's not conforming. So they're literally popping Jake women in the name of marriage and righteousness, but then because she don't act right or conform to the cult of Christ, then they get rid of her.
Mm-hmm. And then
We don't do that over here.
yeah, hell no.
We don't get rid of our women, but we'll check your ass. And if you want to leave, that's on you. You had a point?
I was gonna say, and then once they leave, they smeared their name. You know?
Yep.
Like that one
Gina
one
Blue?
sister. Yeah, you know.
And then another one
Yeah.
who came out like, they basically told her she couldn't work on the Saturday, but she needed to pay her bills.
Exactly. We're in captivity. The scriptures say subject to payments.
Stop listening to black niggas.
Come on, man.
Stop listening to black niggas with edge ups. Where we at? Rev 20?
Yeah, Rev 20.
Notice how the Spirit is like exhorting to protect us?
Yes.
This is to protect us.
Yes.
We ain't just listening to fucking Sagat,
Yeah.
to Andrew Tate. You know what I mean? We ain't listening to that nigga.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Which he's an insider.
yeah,
know?
CIA. We ain't listening to that dweeb. You know, we're really being all built up right now, brothers and sisters, man. This is real life. We're getting ready for the Slayer to come down, man, and it's gonna be hardcore. Remember that heavy metal is hardcore, the heavy metal band. Keep going. They got an actual Edomite rock band named Slayer
Yeah.
and Avenged Sevenfold.
This is Revelation, the book of Revelation 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them.
And that judgment's Revelations 2 and 26, where they're gonna beat people with the rod of iron.
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai.
So you're looking at men that could potentially be put to death for this truth.
That's right. For real.
We could potentially be put to death. And we're supposed to make it light, you know?
All right, man.
Like, we chill too. But one thing I noticed, brothers, when you be chill, with that woman, heathens in a job, they'll push it.
Yeah, bro.
It's like when you be chill, that's when they want to push it. And now you got to fucking boss up.
Hey, like Ving Rhames' baby boy. Always want to fuck with a nigga.
nigga.
I try to be chill.
He's like,
I got three strikes.
Had to beat that little nigga ass. He
But
was,
that's how it be, though.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. When
Come
I'm
on,
telling you, brothers, you're not just gonna be able to chill with your white neighbor. Like, I'm gonna go home, you go here. The demon's gonna jump on him. You chilling with the woman, then demons jump on him. You do your job, then demons jump on him. I do my job, and I got this little ass Issacharite. I said, damn, nigga, you put the micro on managing.
Yeah.
I ain't say it to, but that's how I feel, like, because it's Satan. So there's times where you gotta accept what Satan's doing, but other times, no, I'm not accepting that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like if Satan jump on a brother, per se, he got demons, you gotta check that. Because really he's supposed to check himself, but then the brother's there to help, counsel. Or then Satan jump on a woman, you gotta fucking check her ass. And then if she ain't getting in line, Resist the devil so he can flee. All I could do. See, so there's times where you gotta refrain or and embrace from refraining.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
or how it says, you know, embrace or refrain from embracing.
Like how they say, read the room.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Take that shot, lay that shit up.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
That were beheaded.
Beheaded.
Yeah, that's serious, bro.
Beheaded, man.
That's serious.
Meaning we'll be put to sleep. You know? Literally taken, captured, hemmed up, judged, and then given the execution of death.
For real.
So why the fuck would you give your life over working at Walmart?
Oh, man.
Or being a family man? Or just yelling Christ is King when you know potentially the end for you to meet your maker will be fulfilling prophecy of being a martyr, being put to death. And people don't realize around us that this is the mental city that we have up here. Because this is a city, this is a population, you gotta govern your mind, okay? And this is what we as men, all right, are thinking about. Shit, I know I'd want to be around a brother like that.
Yeah.
I'd want a man like that for if I had a daughter or daughters, you know, for my daughter.
Yeah.
I want some fucking punk ass nigga, some skinny YN to pop her and leave her.
Yep.
You people gotta get your shit together, man. As creatures, the creature is jacked up out here.
Yeah, bro.
You got men giving their daughters over to a nigga because he sell weed and because he still smoke.
Yep.
Fuck out of here,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Keep going. You got men that can't even see their children. Men that have been crossed by women, crossed by Babylon, and still fighting for Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's why it says, where you were put to shame, it will be fame. So we getting ready to embrace glory, man.
From shame to fame.
Yeah, we're getting ready to embrace glory. And the way I feel, I'm like this. You know what I'm saying? Remember when in the Simpsons movie as Homer was falling down?
Yeah.
You know? But even David Robinson's that Jake, he was getting beamed up. He said, fuck y'all.
Yeah. Yep.
Brothers, you don't owe no one nothing, man. Stop letting your loyalty be misused too.
That's right.
Learn how to say no. Or say, back up. You know? Keep going. People get too close.
This is Revelation 20:4. And I saw them souls of them that were beheaded.
We're a soul. Fuck a Dolce and Gabbana. You know?
Right.
All this carnal shit. I'm a spirit, nigga.
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
This ain't even me. Even in the world, I used to come across mirrors and I used to be like, man, that's not me. And I was saying that as a Gentile. You know, I'm like, man, I don't feel like this looks like me.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Yep.
So that was our spirit crying out, not even knowing.
And were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of the Most High.
How are you going to take the chip knowing that Babylon's going to be destroyed? You know? The ship is sinking and you're fighting to get a first-class seat on it while you still being called a nigger. You know? Hey, news alert, Esau still hates you black-ass niggas, man.
Yep.
Okay? And Eve, don't think he loves you. He just wants to pop you.
Yep.
He just wants to grab your titties and ass as a fetish. And you're so broken and so hurt that you just look for love in the wrong places. Keep going.
Scripture say, never trust that enemy, man.
But they think we're just the enemy.
Come on.
Then they call us dogs. Then you're fucking 40 and single, sleeping with a dog.
Yeah, man.
Ain't that the irony?
Yeah.
They call us dogs, but then she'll be single and get a dog.
Yeah. But guess what? If we're the enemy, the enemy's not gonna warn you. The enemy's gonna, do everything he can to distract you,
Yep.
to butter you up, and then he's gonna go in for the kill.
Like the serpent.
Exactly.
Like the serpent.
Come on, man.
So you got a woman fall victim to the serpent again. Not my problem.
Yeah, bro.
This shit about to come down, man.
And what Chris Brown said, deuces. Come on.
Sad reality.
Yep.
Children. It says slay utterly old and young. This is real.
Yes, bro.
This is real. This is really about to happen, man.
And for the word of the Most High.
Oh, the word. Ain't just Deuteronomy. It's for the gospel. It's for the volume of the book. It's for the doctrine. It's for the truth. It's for defending the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai and stand stiffly upon it. Not for taking a bag and saying Christ. Keep going.
And the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image.
Yep, neither worshiping the image, being in the military.
Yep.
Joining the police. You don't think police asked me to join the police? Join them. When I was in the world, I was going to go to them fucking Marines, man. And the Lord delivered me from that. You know, my Gentile antics. But I legitimately was going to go to the fucking Marines, bro. Back when they was just invading Iraq.
Oh, shit.
See?
Oh, wow.
See?
Yeah.
Thinking I was supposed to fight for my country. And then, but my moms and pops was cool with that. But years of fucking abuse and wickedness, you know, in and out of jail and shit. But then that was okay. That was okay for me to go to the military. But then learning the truth, are you joining the cult? Now all of a sudden I'm in a cult. But everything else that I was doing was okay. So that show you in the spirit, you know?
But that go to show that this is the truth. Because if this wasn't the truth, then they wouldn't feel, you know, any kind of way towards this.
Yep.
They'll be happy with it.
Yep.
You know?
Proud mom moment, sons in the military.
Yeah. I remember one time when I first came to the truth, I told my mom, I said, "Now I'm going to the Passover," and she fucking yelled. She fucking got pissed. She said, "Ah," and I said, "Hey, tough luck. You know, I gotta go serve the Lord." You know.
That's just all the trial. All what we're acknowledging too is the trials that brothers go to for being in the priesthood now.
Yep.
You know, that's why the Levites were separated from the rest of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Cause y'all play too much.
That's right.
Niggas be doing too much. Like we got a duty. We're at the altar right now, and the altar's moving.
Yep.
Soon there's gonna be a famine of hearing the word at the altar.
Yep.
Soon as there come a point where the Lord's gonna take that energy from us, and we're not gonna reprove Jake no more.
Exactly.
We're gonna sit back with our Thriller jacket on and eat popcorn.
Yeah.
And laugh at your calamity.
Yep.
And say you're gonna laugh at their calamity.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna laugh at you.
Isn't it funny how people react to certain things when it's not there anymore? Like the old saying goes, you appreciate it more when it's gone.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how much more, you know, the words of the Lord?
Yeah.
You know?
Keep going.
And for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image.
Part of worshiping was taking that jump shot. You know?
Most definitely. Hell yeah.
Neither his image, neither had received his mark.
And a part of the image is what he say in 8 Mile, he had both parents and really good marriage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not against Israelite family and couple and love, but there's a Babylonian twist to it. Okay? There's a Babylonian twist where in the back of the mind of the woman is she knows she could call the cops. She could get child support. That's who you gotta watch out for. Now shout out to the Jake women that don't. Like I've seen certain Jake women where she'll go viral because she took her father's child off child support. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, yep.
What you going to the system for? Woe to you to go to Egypt for help. I did a lesson the other day about this Jake woman. She looked straight out of Whoville. And she was basically telling her son that he can't get a job because they're gonna take away her Section 8 and Link card.
Wow.
So you know what I said? She gonna take the potato chip.
Yeah.
Just so I can emphasize on the word potato chip.
Wow.
All right? And then she gonna get dipped. She was arguing with him, you know? That's the state of what we're talking about.
Damn.
Keep going.
Neither had received his mark.
And but he's gonna cause the world. 185 countries already showed an allegiance to the global elites through the trial run of the Uno Nueve. So 185 countries. That's the world, bro. That's 95%.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? That's really 99% if you break it down percentagely.
Yeah.
So the whole world conformed in 2020, was it?
Yeah. Yep.
So they're gonna conform for this.
Yeah. And this is worse.
And
because
yeah.
it's
this
what
is
you
profit.
need to buy and sell. You need money. It says money is a defense. So how much more when that money is turned into a little C-hip?
And you guess who's promoting man merging with machine? Futurists. Have you ever heard of a futurist? A futurist are pretty much people that analyze what's trending and predict what's best for the future. And they said that transhumanism is best for the future, and the R to the F to the I to the D tech is the implants are best for the future as a stepping stone to a more convenient future, meaning access to buildings, transportation, jobs. So you're gonna be cut out. You're gonna be cut out. Yep. So if you got Section 8 now and rely on the government now, what you think she's gonna do later?
Yep. Just like that clip of the black woman, I believe.
That was in the military.
Yeah, she had a military husband, and she had took that shit. You know, and then he said, "Huh? What the fuck you got there?" He said, "You for real?"
Without his permission.
Yeah.
Yo, red flag to me is a bitch doing something without my permission.
Yeah, bro. And then.
Or don't listen.
Yeah.
And I always equate it, if yo brother, like you got a woman, think about if she was in the camp. I'd be like, I would have to sit her down. I'd have to open the scriptures. I'd have to check, like, goddamn, you not fruit me for repentance.
Yeah. It's vex you.
it could vex you.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't vexed up here. You know, we're in God mode. We're in so-called Zen. We're just acknowledging the reality that we know that's happening out there in the world.
Mm-hmm. And then in that clip afterwards, they got in the parking lot, and she said, even our baby, she said, our baby gonna get it too.
I'm gonna start bringing a beach chair.
You know, so it just goes to show where the mind of Eve is at, or should I say, the woman in general.
Yeah.
You know.
And she got it easy too.
Yo, yeah, bro.
She got it easy.
Nobody's questioning them.
Right.
Nobody is clocking them, micromanaging them. But they're the most wicked. You know.
But whatever. Did we finish Rev 20 and 4?
No.
Let's keep going. From the top again. This is the Lord's song. You know? You got a problem with the Lord's song, you got a problem with the Lord.
Yep.
You know how many times I go back and watch 5 Heartbeat songs?
Yeah.
Because they're fire to me.
Yeah.
Okay? I like them. So if you don't like the Lord's song, don't listen.
Yeah.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and 4. And I saw thrones.
20 y 4.
And they
Or
sat
it would be
upon them.
apocalypte. I think if Revelation is apocalypte.
Yeah.
So it'd be apocalypte 20 y 4.
Yep.
You got it.
And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them.
I'm ready to sit on a throne. I just mentioned the beach chair. You know? What do you say? I'm ready to depart. You got, you know, we here, but we ready to go. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to sit on that throne.
Right.
My feet are sore.
Right.
My back keep giving out. But we still working.
Real.
You know? Still getting spiritually fit and physically fit. Brothers, you better be working out, man. You better be working out, bro. Better get you a pull-up bar, hit some push-ups, baby steps. You know? You ain't did a crunch, do 5 to 10.
Yeah.
That's it. Then wait a day, do it again. How I started doing pull-ups, I started off by increments of 5. Then 5 became to 10. Then 10 became to 20. 20 became to 30. 30 became to 40. That's where I'm at right now, but I'm cool with that.
And that's where you're gonna get the best results when you do calisthenics compared to weightlifting.
Yep.
Because you are working on your own body weight. You know.
Resistant bands. That's exactly what I use, brothers.
Resistant bands, yep.
I use resistant bands.
That
I was using them last night. You know, instead of just sitting home, drinking and being mad. You know, you grow. Worked out, watched some videos, and went to sleep.
Yep.
And woke up in a good spirit. Was able to do a lesson and damn near ran to camp. It's too hot out. Let's go to a byway.
Yep. What's the saying that brother say? It's work, study. How's it going?
Yeah. Pray, study, work out. And then have a high protein diet, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know, I put beef and chicken down for a couple days. And just, you know, the tuna, quinoa, beans,
fruit, veggies,
corn tortillas. This is the time, man. You know? This is the time right now. Not eating king's meat. Everybody got poop bellies, sugar guts.
Yeah.
You know? Most important thing a man should do is work on their gut health.
Yeah.
But the point is, even not being in the best position, the fact that we're here in this position we could be in is monumental to me. Nobody else is in my corner saying that to me but brothers, you know?
That's right.
Because anybody else, they just got energy to point out what you did wrong and not how to fix it.
That's
so
right.
fuck you.
That's right. Everybody want to point out the lowlights, but what about the highlights?
And we got mad highlights.
You know?
We got mad step back, jab, cross dribble, nigga. Fuck you talking about? And that's through the name of the Lord. Y'all know what I mean. That's through the name of the Lord. So if you don't want to acknowledge that,
Right.
you know, like I had a 7-month review, and the only thing these niggas could come up with is my shirt wasn't tucked in enough. I said, I'll take that, little nigga.
Oh my gosh.
So guess what? Now I tuck it in.
His shoe wasn't tied.
Yeah.
Report him.
You know, tuck it in. Now you can see my physique, bitch.
That's how Esau played. He played dirty and petty.
Yeah, good.
But guess what? In our kingdom, we gonna be arrogant to you,
Yeah,
nigga.
because I'm putting cases on all you niggas.
For real. And your kingdom sucks anyway.
Yeah, it's
you
trash.
die in your kingdom.
That's right.
You're not gonna die in our kingdom.
You got to deal with wokeness and DEI in
Yeah,
your
bro.
kingdom.
Make their ass work in the rock.
Yeah, that's right. Pray, fast, study, get your
What you say?
Make their ass work in the rock quarry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
Keep going that Rev 20. That's a banger.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them.
That means that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's already happened. We're catching up to it.
Exactly right.
It's happened, man. So we're waiting
That's
to pray that we're the ones that are going to be in that seat
That's right.
to get that crown laid upon our head.
That literal crown.
That means it's already happened, man.
Right, because it says in Isaiah, it says the end was already cleared, from the
The
beginning.
beginning.
The Lord had the script has already been written. It's just a matter of it, happening,
And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them.
That's right.
And
Guilty. Guilty. Death or exile.
Yep.
All right, death by exile.
Yep.
I want people to get judged and be brought back that same day.
Right.
Bring them right back. Keep going.
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh
I'm
Shai.
gonna come back wallet. It says a new threshing instrument. Let's get Ezekiel. Let's get the Samuel L. Jackson scripture.
I got you.
Ezekiel 25, right? 12. Pulp Fiction.
Somebody died and kept on coming back.
There's a couple movies
Yeah.
when he regenerated.
Yeah. You can remember his death. It was like,
Oh, see? But that's my point. So, brothers, imagine dying by the hands of the heathens, which for us, that death will be sleeping, and then the dead shall be raised first. Oh, man, we gonna have a problem, bro. You know how you be seeing Edomites with multiple dogs?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have multiple heathens on that chain. Or I have like a Hamite mush, nigga.
Yeah. I want all the animals that Esau extinct to fucking torture him.
Yep.
Gorillas.
Think about all the things you go through. Sleep paralysis, nightmares. You go to sleep, you can feel the presence of demons.
Yep.
But now we're at the point we just pray, turn the fan on.
Yeah, bro.
That's what happened to me last night. Even though I mentioned all the things I went through, good, working out, this, eating, making sure don't be eating after 8 all the time, man. Let your digestion rest. So did all that. I had a late night snack, but most times you try to eat before late. And then I still went to bed and I felt the presence of demons. I just prayed to the Lord and got a good night rest.
There you go.
So thank you, brother. We're being built up. So normal things that, threw you for a loop before, you already know the temple of it now. And like Neo, upgrades.
Yeah. Yep.
There's still no spoon.
Ezekiel 25 and 12. Thus said the Lord power, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck you up for what you did to big bro Judah. Yahweh. I've been trying to do this lesson for 3 weeks about the race records and African American apartheid, but the spirit just ain't on me yet to do it. But like just simple shit that you hear, even what Jake went through in Babylon, But then you think that's not even the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
What about what Amalek did when we came out Egypt?
Yeah.
It's like what a nigga do to Jake now.
Yeah.
He was coming out the store and pat. So we was coming out of Egypt and there he was.
And even when after Isaac passed away, what did Esau say about Jacob? He said, "I'm going to mourn for my father Isaac. Then will I slay my brother Jacob."
Yep.
So this hatred is perpetual.
It's premeditated.
Yeah. That's premeditated murder, bro.
Which goes back to the garden, though.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it go back to the garden, Esau and Jacob?
Why does it go back? Because Esau has the serpent. Is the serpent.
And what else?
And
Get it?
so why does it go back to the garden?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the original sin started.
Right, but why specifically Esau as a serpent and Jacob?
Because he's the deceiver. He's a liar.
Who was then Jacob then in the garden?
Jacob?
Yeah.
Jacob was Adam.
Well, yeah, but then why did the serpent and why did Jacob and Esau have this sibling rivalry?
Oh, you talking about from Genesis? Why
Yeah.
did Jacob and Esau have the sibling rivalry?
Yeah, but we mentioned the garden though. So how's that go back to, how does Esau and Jacob, how's that link back to the garden with the serpent and Adam?
Because he was cursed. Esau was cursed. There was
More than that. What?
I'll read it. Yeah, I got it.
Maybe I'm not wording it right.
Okay.
Watch.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed.
See, that's where Jacob and Esau go back to. The woman's seed ultimately being Jacob.
So it was prophesied that there would be enmity between two
Exactly.
races.
Exactly.
So
That's
back to the garden.
exactly.
Now it's
Exactly.
Right.
So that's why if somebody said, why is Jacob and Esau feuding? You said, well, we got to go back to the garden between the serpent seed and the seed coming from Eve, which was of Adam. See?
Yep.
So that's an ancient hatred,
Yeah,
which
bro.
they now just call racism. So he had to use your so-called black skin as a physical excuse for something spiritual. See? So it ain't just because we're black, because you niggas tan too. All right? You girls tan too.
Y'all
Zoom
look-
tan.
Yeah.
Orange 47.
Yep. And they look ugly when they do try to tan.
Or they'll brag like, look, I'm tan as you.
No, the fuck you're not.
Bitch, you only as tan as me because I'm stuck in this fucking big house and I ain't been in the sun yet.
Right.
spray tan.
Yeah,
I
right.
got my golden tan.
But then you got a panty line.
Yep.
You got a draw line. But there's something in their spirit. That's why they got with him. Because they wanted that darkness
Exactly.
They wanted
Right.
that darkness back.
Right.
Everybody want to be black,
Yeah.
so-called.
Because Cain had color before he got cursed.
And then
you
that
know?
mark was him being a clean leopard.
That's right.
That you saw those characteristics happen to Miriam in Numbers 12.
Mm-hmm.
So we were back in Ezekiel 25,
Yep.
please.
Ezekiel 25 and 12. Because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance.
Yeah, raise it.
Yep.
Raise it. Edom wanted, it says in the blue letter that Edom wanted the temple to be destroyed by the Babylonians because he believed with the temple being destroyed that would cut off the connection of Yahweh to his people.
Mm-hmm.
So that nigga don't want you to exist. The woman don't want you to be a man, and Esau don't even want you here. And you mean to tell me we just supposed to fucking sit here and do some Mason hand gestures with our face shaved and our head?
That's why it's best to be holy.
And I'm supposed to be content with some pussy?
Yeah, bro.
Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, when you really sit back and think about it, brothers, and you sisters, you like, right, shit. Our Israelite men are really a target.
Yeah.
Because Esau get Eve, but he's getting Eve to get to Jake.
Yep. You're not worried about Eve.
He ain't worried about you, girl. He get your ass with some ramen noodle and food stamps.
Yeah.
You easy work. Eve, you easy work, man. He just gotta let your ass get a job in an office and it's, ah! That's all you gotta do. Eve is easy, bro. You eat, girl, you know you easy.
Yep.
A nigga on a bike could get you. So how much more a nigga that can bite?
Yeah.
You going like the
Just-
serpent.
Just like in ancient Egypt. Why do you think the Egyptians they were
Killing the men.
Killing the men.
And letting the women live.
Men children. You know?
So the best thing the Israelite woman could do is understand the severity and role and importance of the Israelite man. Because if he was able to do away with every Israelite man, there wouldn't be an Israelite woman.
Yep.
You would not exist without us. You would not exist without us.
Literally.
So how's the pappy?
Mm-hmm. Back in Ezekiel 12 and 25.
But we weren't taught this in the world.
Yep.
Our own mothers didn't even teach us the importance of being a man. Our mothers didn't even teach us how to be man. Our mothers to this day still will call or text and say, I just miss my little boy. We ain't boys no more.
Right.
That's the problem. Everybody wants us to beat a little boy baby on the couch with pizza and wings and movies. We're in a real fucking world.
For real.
That don't work out here.
They're stuck in the past, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Everybody's stuck in the past here in America.
But us.
You know, Esau, you go in corporate America, that shit's still the big house. Still got mammies, still got house niggas and field niggas.
Then you go to your cousin's house and for the barbecue and it's, this is how we do it.
Oh my God.
Niggas wearing the shit that Trey wore and Boys in the Hood. Like, I fuck with Domino's, but shit.
God damn, bro.
Sometimes it's just like, Jake, Jake is not in the future with it. They're not.
Esau is.
Esau's in the future.
Esau's future is to get rid of your ass.
20 companies right now are investing in creating robots, so by 2030, they will do your house chores.
Yep.
Who does house chores now?
Jake.
So you getting replaced, man. If he's gonna mass kill niggas and niggettes, he's gonna have something to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna kill fucking abuela.
Right.
So that he gonna create a machine to make your tacos now.
Exactly.
So now that they're getting all these robots, that's to replace Jake, man.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna attempt to extinct you.
He wanna replace you and put a potato chip inside you.
Yep. He wanna put a chip in me.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? A mill. But and the song's called Quarrels.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, brother?
I found something interesting. It's talking about the seizure of 1933, enacted by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Executive
What
order,
year?
1933.
Oh, that was around the time where I think they made gold illegal.
Right. They confiscated the gold.
Yeah. Is that what it says?
Right. But they also confiscated in 1812 the Civil War of 1861 to 1864, and 1933 to 1974 private ownership, and 1971.
Exactly. And Nixon made it. He solidified it.
Oh.
So it's forced buyback. They try to say not confiscation.
They declared martial law.
And then
They took niggas Cuban links.
it says, while direct confiscation like 1933 seems less likely today, governments retain the power to regulate gold transactions and influence the market through various mechanisms like taxation and monitoring, especially during economic crisis. What are we going through? Economic crisis.
And that's why they call it a stable coin.
Yep.
That's why the economic crisis of the 1930s with the Great Depression, they came out with a security card.
Exactly. That was the order. That's where you get that fucking security card.
Yeah.
And they took the gold and and gave it back to you at a lower rate.
No, and they gave it back to you as a Federal Reserve note.
Yeah, but at a lower price.
Yeah.
Don't you
So
got
you
that
didn't get
shit?
your the full value of your money.
Nope.
Damn.
Nope. That's why a dollar
Damn.
today is not the price. A dollar back then would get you an ounce of silver, but now you need like $33 to get 1 ounce today. See that? You gonna say something?
No.
I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is very
that's
interesting.
edifying.
Because people ain't focusing on that. People ain't. You got it.
It's lucky, bro. And how did the Great Depression start? Because of tariffs got raised, got hiked, and then that caused inflation. Then that caused the a lot of goods to,
Recession.
to just sit there. The recession.
Because what tariffs do is it causes taxes on people and imports.
Yep.
So then the person that is getting something imported has to heighten the price so they can still get a profit,
Yep.
which then now leads to a recession, which means people aren't buying it because it's too much. And then that recession leads to a stock market crash because people ain't buying into a stock because nobody's buying the product from that stock.
Yep.
It's fucked.
So back then it was called the Great Depression, and now this time it's gonna be called the Great Reset. It makes perfect sense. And that Great Reset is gonna come via what? The potato chip.
A stable coin.
Right.
That you have access to through a governmental app. and then this governmental app now will be put in you.
Right.
So now it also tracks you, your carbon footprint, access to certain buildings, you know, transportation, certain
Everything.
places you could go.
Everything.
And this nigga's gonna futurize the hood.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, bro.
You can't go into a city.
Yep.
So they're gonna lock you in it, and it's still gonna be the ghetto.
Yep. UBI, man. Universal basic income. You know? Back in Ezekiel 25:12, and it reads,
But we're tripping.
right. But he's doing it.
But we're tripping because we don't want to just settle for Israelite princess and family.
Yeah, fuck that, bro. We'll get that in the kingdom.
Yeah. And like if brothers get it now, cool, but there's also still that. And any woman out there that's with a man or brother, I'm just speaking as me, she should be letting that man know, baby, I'm not gonna take that shit. I'm gonna die for mine. I'm gonna die holding Junior in my arms if you're not here. I know Yahweh Shai got me, and I know you of the elect, and we gonna make it. That's the spirit that woman need to be in, bro.
That's her job.
Yeah, being a God-fearing woman to her Lord.
That's right, bro.
Fucking you got Israelite women thinking they could come in here with a Western mentality and choose what man you want to be with. We didn't even get to choose the Lord.
Exactly. How should I say? I don't. You don't choose me. I choose you.
Thank you.
We're the Lord's woman.
Thank you.
How much more us as a man?
Yep.
You know. So you got to get in line too.
Yep.
You know. You got to be there to be that man's pillar of rest, to give him reinsurance. You know. Because we gotta come back and serve the Lord 10 times more. You know. So the pressure's more on us.
And
you got an easy roll.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, right. You got an easy roll. You just gotta kiss the husband, lest he be angry. We gotta kiss the son.
Right.
Shit.
1 Peter 3:6-8. Even Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters
But
ye are.
you'll call Esau boss.
Yep.
You respect his title. You respect his shift change. You respect his pay and wage. You respect what days he tells you to fucking get your little ass up and go to work. But when your man lays down, he can lay the dick down though.
Yep.
All we are is a fucking dick and a body in the street to you people, man. All right? So when we say something, it's questioned. That's what I'm telling you, man. We're in different times. We're in way different times. But yeah, what do you say, Sarah called Abraham Lord?
That's right.
Lord,
Yep.
whose daughters ye are.
Yep. Whose daughter, exactly. So we're supposed to be being called out of one. Right? Out of one?
Yeah, out of one,
Yep.
Lord. But right now, like you said earlier, you quoted Zephaniah. Right now, we're being put to shame.
Yep.
But fame is coming back.
Yep.
The Lord's going to give us our name and fame back. And everywhere that we've been put to shame.
And humility is a sign that honor's coming.
That's right.
Like pride is a sign destruction's coming. It's
Right.
math, baby. Put it together.
That's right.
So we good on this side.
That's right.
And you brothers good too, man. You know?
That's right.
Even they show you in the movies when the women come up, yes, my Lord, yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
What's that movie, Eddie Murphy? It's
Coming to America.
Yeah.
Whatever you like.
Yes.
But them demons, bruh, they got demons on them, man. We over here, that's the only thing. We the only ones acknowledging we fighting demons. But for you, it's an excuse. Telling you, Jacob's trouble gonna fix everything. So for you sisters, thank you, Habashim Shai, that you're actually working on yourself. That's a whoo.
Yes.
How you think those women felt that got on the ark?
Great, blessed, grateful. That's mercy right there.
Not one of them was like, you need to prove to me.
Yep.
They was happy. They was happy that they was set up to be incubators for the generation today.
Real.
And then you had the Noah's wife that led to Ham, Shem, and Japheth. That's an honor. And then Shem's wife was used to lead to us coming. You know? So that's honor, man. But Esau tells you to control, alt, delete. Okay. We're back in Ezekiel.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That was it.
That was it.
Oh, that was it. Slacking. Back in Ezekiel 25:12, and it reads, and had greatly offended
Esau greatly offended.
and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom. And
You stink. You know? The Lord gonna stretch his hand out through the sun. I'm being funny, but the Lord gonna stretch out. Yahweh Shai coming back, as Jake would say, to get his fair one. But it ain't gonna be fair in that day. You know? And in Rev it says the men that pierced him is gonna see him.
That's
Which
right.
proves reincarnation.
That's right.
So everybody's coming back in their lot. You know?
Mhm.
Everybody's coming back in the prophetic stead of their design. And we all been created. You know?
Mhm.
But Esau tell you we came from monkeys. So why you calling us a monkey, but then you say we're inferior to you?
Right. Then why are
Message.
Exactly. Then why are monkeys still here?
And if we're overpopulated, why he ain't killing monkeys?
Right. Come on, man.
Why the fuck you glorify Jane Goodall then?
Come on.
You
man.
should be taking apes out.
For real. And it reads, verse 13. I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom,
Visit his ass.
and will cut off man and beast from it,
Good.
and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword.
And guess what? We found out Trump is a Temanite.
Yeah.
That nigga's
yeah.
an immigrant. But he's also Amalek too.
Yep. Yeah,
He calls on Hashem.
Yeah.
And Amalek runs the world. All right, all these Israelite camps out here wasting your time with these weak, fucking, frail, beat-body Edomites. That's garbage to me. Amalek runs the world, man. All right, Beyonce, who runs the world? Amalek,
Yep.
bitch. So that's what needs to be talked about. Amalek, not just some, yo, hold down, get down, brother. No,
Right.
nigga. They just profited off of the image that was constructed of the ancient Roman Empire wound being healed.
Yeah.
They're just bodies to fulfill.
Yeah.
Amalek uses race to keep you not looking at him. Amalek uses niggas and police to be the face of crime so you don't look at him.
Yeah.
You idiots!
Yeah, bro.
It's Amalek. It all goes back to Amalek. Everything. Even Henry Ford blamed everything on Amalek, including the consistency of taste of his own candy bars. He said Amalek must have did something to this.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Amalek.
Yeah, bro.
The grandson, the
Right.
grand master, the grand wistful master of the Mason Lodge.
Yep. That's why really, ultimately when it says the earth was given to the hands of the wicked, that's fucking Amalek,
Amalek.
bro. 'Cause Amalek controls everything.
He started it through religion and finance. 1666, this Amalek said that he was Jesus in the reincarnation. And then you know how Amalek gets in the door? Through money. So anybody rich in Babylon or that is a philanthropist is Amalek, more than likely.
Yeah.
Because they found a way into money. Amschel Bauer, what he would do is he started money coins. Then he had he had 5 sons.
Yeah.
They named their chain Rothschild, put the red shield, called himself Rothschild, reinvented himself, sent his ass out into the middle of out into Europe, and started taking over systematically. Hence why the Rothschilds was able to fund the war here in America that you call the fucking Civil War. The Civil War was funded on the North and the South by Rothschilds. Oh, the Revolutionary War was funded by the Rothschilds to the 13 colonies or settlers. That's why they're able to. That's why they were able to afford to go against Mother Britain.
Yep. Yeah, bro. This all been set up strategically by Amalek.
Why you think Tupac said they got money for war but can't feed the poor?
Yep.
That little gay nigga knew.
That's right. And every war that America, goes to is who?
A banker's war.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking Amalek, bro.
That's why Iran is the 3rd stop for the Muzini Pike plan, because they want to put a central bank in there.
Yep. Come on, man.
He wants to royally pock you.
Yeah. Back in Ezekiel 25 and 14.
That's why they took out Gaddafi. That's why they took out Saddam. Because they opposed their. That's why they took out Kennedy.
Yeah.
Because Kennedy was opposed to them having in their head facility program.
Oh, wow.
But that's prophecy, though.
Yeah.
They needed that because in their head they do hurt.
Yeah.
And he created a waster to destroy.
Yeah.
And Esau's blessing was a sword. So how dare you try to stop Esau from getting his hands back on his blessing?
Yeah, bro.
But now the weak are saying they're strong, because that's Joel 3.
Yep.
So everything is playing out accordingly.
And they think that everything is going according to their plan.
And
Nah.
it is.
Well, it is, but ultimately that's the Lord's plan. It's prophecy.
Agenda, enterprise.
Yes, right. Yep. So you think that this is your new order? The Lord is making you do this.
Exactly. Yep.
You think that what's that book you got? The NWO. They think that they're controlling, World War III, but nah, the Lord did that.
And
That's
then,
prophecy.
And then it says they'll be in straits. In
yeah.
the fullness of his sufficiency, there's going to be a resistance. People are going to fight back.
That's right. So Esau, your hands are tied, bro.
And full.
That's right. Back in Ezekiel 25 and verse 14, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom.
Yeah, Esau. The Lord is going to lay his hands upon Edomites. And Esau can't handle an ass whooping.
Nope.
They cannot handle an ass whooping.
That's why he talks most shit until you put their hands on them.
And then it's gonna be trouble, trouble.
But guess what? We're not gonna put our hands on them. The Lord is. The
We
Lord gonna, judge them.
But the Lord gonna use us too.
Right.
After.
Right.
I know what you're saying,
Yeah, right.
but I'm just adding my little tidbit in.
Right.
The Lord say, watch, keep reading. The Lord gonna put his
Right.
anger on us. We gonna grab him. We're gonna choke him. Remember he said, I'm gonna grab a dog. It's my pleasure. Shit.
Oh man. Ew. Back in Ezekiel 25:14, it says, see shit like that, bro. We can have shit like that in slavery, It
You ever
says,
see that movie? What the fuck was that movie? They.
ah man.
It'd be the skinny demons.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she like. One of them skinny ass demons that hide in the shadows.
Oh, she looking. You looking
We
behind
looking
the tree.
at the Lord looking
She
at her.
looking by the tree.
Let me get her on camera. That little thing.
See, that's who's in power.
She got nice skinny hands to get that gold that's deep in the rock.
Yeah, bro.
Keep going.
Ezekiel 25:14, and
Now
I
your brothers don't know if she's a Jake though.
right, of course.
Hey, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes the hell we catch, I'll be like, I don't give a fuck if you a Jake.
Yeah.
You a demon.
And that's one thing too. A lot of so-called, white
I don't think that was a Jake.
white looking. That's not a fucking Jake.
I'm being funny.
Yeah. But a lot of so-called white-looking Jakes, they don't know they're Jakes, but because of their skin color, they make it in Babylon. And other Edomites look at them like they're Edomites.
Because they're carnal.
Yeah, but they look at us like, oh, y'all just niggas. But he's a nigga too. So it just goes to show that we live in a carnal world.
Embrace it.
Yeah, man.
Embrace the carnality of what they look at you.
Yeah.
It makes the job better.
Exactly.
Whatever job you got, if that's all they think that you are, good.
Exactly.
Good, bitch.
Bro.
I want you to think that's all I am is a valet Parker.
Yep.
That's all I want.
I had one Edomite friend. I swear he was a Jew.
Probably was.
He said, yo, your mom's made some of that potato salad.
Yeah.
I said, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And I look back at it, I'm like, damn. I said, nigga.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep going.
Back in Ezekiel 25:14, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel.
See? By the hand of my people. But like the brother was saying first, the Lord's like Yahweh Shai, he's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get changed, and we come back down according to Revelations 15 in our new bodies, changed in the twinkle of an eye, we'll be made into a threshing weapon.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And it says, and they shall do.
If she walked by before we encamp, we're going to move and say, excuse us, nice white lady.
Yeah.
We're gonna emphasize Miss White Lady. They're carnal though. They're like, they eat that shit up,
Yeah.
bro.
Excuse me, Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
You gonna take your hat off.
You speaking of Miss Daisy, you know how they curated In Living Color?
Yeah.
Damon Wayans,
Yeah.
he said that one of the skits they threw out was David Allen Greer was gonna drive Miss Daisy, but when they got to the destination, he was gonna go in the back and pop her.
Oh
But
shit.
they said they was like, hey, we don't want that. But now in the fucking 21st century, it's nothing but Jake's Edomite women.
I just seen a post on social media that said so-called black men are the most desirable men amongst
We
all
are.
of the nations of the women.
You're desired, brothers.
But that's all tribes though.
Yeah.
All tribes are the Israelite men.
Yep.
You see?
Oh, we're desired, man.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let the Babylon's not accepting you, dictate your mental peace, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
man. And let's not forget, back in April of last year, it was an eclipse that happened. And that was a great sign.
Yep.
So people forget, about things like that. But that's a sign from how about Shema Shai to let us know that this place is about to, go down.
Yep.
But we ain't forget.
Nope.
Back in Ezekiel 25:14, it reads, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord power.
So judgment is coming. We're gonna end it there.
Okay.
Judgment's coming, man. So be in the right spirit. Understand what it means to be an Israelite of Yahweh Shem Shai. Understand that the pastors of the Most High's flock are of men, and he chose according to his heart. And a lot of our people, if they can't handle the spirit now, how you gonna handle Yahweh Shai and judgment coming? So be in the right spirit. Lock in. Don't be a stereotypical nigga or nigga.
Yeah.
Live above the curses, man. Because it's easy to be a 2/3.
Yep.
You stand out when you're a 1/3.
It's easy to be wicked.
Yep.
You know?
That's it. So we're going to leave it there. I don't run you brothers and you very few sincere sisters was edified through the Spirit as we were. And we want to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, HaKakodash. Double honors to our bishops, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, Shalom.
Shalom.